Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is the Nerdy.
The Wordy.
The Book Club. We are...
Farmers.
We are back to talk about The Expanse, Book 3, Abaddon's Gate.
Abaddon's Gate. Definitely not how I thought that was pronounced.
How do you feel about Abaddon?
You know, it's not a word that I'm familiar with, so it can be whatever it wants.
I just really thought it was Abaddon.
Yeah.
Because Abaddon sounds like a creature of myth. Abaddon sounds like a TikTok slang.
Like a baddie?
Yeah. I bag myself Abaddon, boys.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyone else following the woman on TikTok who's like, I fear I'm my boyfriend's first baddie? And the way the internet just fucking roasted her for it?
Oh, like you're not a baddie? Oh,
well,
no.
It's not that she was unattractive. But
baddie is a state of mind, you know?
Yeah. The problem for her is that a number of people thought she was unattractive, right?
Sure.
Which is, you know, it's subjective, right? People are going to find everyone unattractive.
Yeah.
There are people who don't understand that you're the most beautiful person alive. I think they're incredibly stupid. But then the other side of it was like, the people that would normally be on her side were like, hey, girl, are you just shitting on every woman he's dated before you?
I guess
so. It was just her video. She didn't win with anyone.
But again, I don't think like baddie is partially appearance. Baddie is a state of mind. I will argue that.
I agree.
Baddie's like, I'm hot shit, and she was like, I'm hot shit, therefore baddie.
No, I understand that, but the people who are like, no, you're not, were not being fought off by the people who agree with that.
Sure.
Because the people who agree with that were like, why are you shitting on other women?
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just such a fascinating... It was a fascinating, like, comment section of people being like, girl, who is this video for?
The internet's a wild place, but you know what it did? It got engagement.
You know what?
Because the internet is a wild place.
All engagement is not good engagement. It used to be. All press used to be good press. Until people remembered bad press. Because now there are people on the internet who are like still on the internet. Who are remembered for one post on Vine 15 years ago.
I can't wait for Vine to come back.
They're like, oh my god, your potato flew around the room, kid. And they're like, I'm a best-selling novelist. I've done so much since then. And all you care about is the potato flew around the room.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't remember that Vine?
I never saw that one.
Wow.
That is news to me. What's up, chat?
Hi, everyone.
Do you remember that Vine?
Do you guys remember potato flew around the room?
Someone? Blue also does not like how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Whatever Blue says goes. Since producer Blue says so, we listen.
Yeah. Blue, thank you for commissioning audiobook reactions this week. Very fun audiobook reactions.
Banging chapters.
Fun book.
Good old time. Yep.
One of the things about this book that has been so fascinating, having watched the Expanse TV show, is that I don't remember the Expanse TV show anymore.
I know.
I loved it.
It's getting...
My wires have been crossed
muddy.
In the years since we watched it.
Yeah, it's getting messy.
So after the first two book clubs of The Expanse in January and February, Clarissa and I decided to start rewatching The Expanse, thinking that we had been mostly correct in our discussions of the show, saying that it was a pretty faithful adaptation. And then we started watching the TV show.
We were like,
wait, what the fuck? Immediately, the Rosie crew are so much meaner to each other in the show.
For a TV drama.
Yeah.
They do try and TV dramatize it. And I remember somewhere in my brain, I think I remember commenting on that in the show. Mm-hmm. Like, while we were reacting to the show. And look, I don't remember shit, so I could be absolutely wrong. But yeah, the crew is very traumatized. Avasarala is actually quite different.
Avasarala does not feel like Avasarala at all in season 1. But almost ever.
But I think why we thought it was the same is because the vibes are so bang on.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're like, yeah, it's the same. Because the one thing that I think will be the downfall if you try and adapt something is changing the vibe. And they were like, no, the vibes are immaculate. So.
Yeah.
Nerdy hated Clarissa's plot. I remember that.
I did not like it.
I also remember not loving it. Mm-hmm. Like Clarissa, when she's first introduced, we're kind of like, Oh, okay.
The problem that I had with it was that this character showed up who was like a superhuman, super genius, super rich. She just came into the plot far too powerful too quickly.
Sure.
And it just kind of came out of like nowhere. You also don't know that she's Clarissa Mao at first.
For a while.
In the show, where the book kind of tells you that. Like, the book explains where her like wealth and power comes from in a way where the show is like, this woman hacked the Rocinante. And I was like, this woman hacked a Martian, a stealth Martian military ship?
Yeah.
And who? Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
She also has superpowers. All right. I get. Like, it was too much for me for the way that it was brought in.
I do like it better in the book.
Yeah. Well, and I think that part of the reason why it works better in the book is I still hate her. Like, I don't like her at all.
Oh yeah. Like, what she does is so incredibly fucked.
Yeah. But what I do like about the way it's handled in the book is we get to spend the weeks with her on. In this book, you watch her learning from the rest of the crew, right?
Yeah.
And in a way that, not the Rocinante, but you do watch her learn from the rest of the crew. And I still don't necessarily love her plot. I don't love the way it ends. I think she's just, if I'm being honest, I think she is the weakest part of this book. Particularly that, like, she goes along with Ashford's plan, and then Anna says in one, like, YouTube video, she's like, if we blow up the ring, we're gonna kill everyone. And Clarissa's like, well, in that case, I have to completely change everything about myself again.
Actually, I will counter-argument to that. Mm-hmm. What I do like about that moment is she said, how do you know? And Anna's like, James Holden says so. And she's like, James Holden, the one who is incapable of telling a lie and has to share all information he knows with everybody, that James Holden. So all the things that he did in book 1 that really fucked up actually like pay off here in book 3. Yeah, that James Holden.
I would buy that more if she wasn't the character who was furious at what James Holden had said in the past.
Well,
like, she literally spends this whole book trying to ruin James Holden's reputation.
Yeah.
And then in this moment, she's like, well, I gotta believe James Holden.
Because she knows him. Because she knows it's true. That doesn't mean she likes him.
I hear you. I thought it was a weak way for the book to get through to this finale. I thought having her do this 180 on James Holden and go along with James Holden, given everything she's done in the book up until that point, James Holden should have been the most triggering words for her to hear in that moment, and instead they're the ones that calm her down. Well, and I just think that in terms of how this book is set up, it wasn't my favorite choice.
Interesting, because I feel like that's actually the thing that like tied this book together for me in a way, because it's not about her liking or disliking Holden. It's about her obsession with him, mm-hmm. and her being smart enough to understand that even though she hates this man, she knows his behavior, and therefore he has to be telling what he believes to be the truth.
Yeah, but in her actions, she has to do that in a way that is going to elevate him again. Right?
Sorry,
like,
what?
her goal the whole book has been to ruin James Holden because he ruined her family.
Yeah.
In making the choice that she makes in this moment, she gives Holden the opportunity to be the hero again.
And I think
further destroying everything about her family.
I think that the reason that also works for me is because she has the chance to kill Naomi and doesn't do it. Like she has that choice.
Yeah.
To actually hurt Holden. It is like within her literal grasp.
Yeah.
And because of everything she's been to, she does pause. So we know that like that capability is within her.
Oh, and I agree with that. Like, I do agree with that. I'm not saying that it's not within her. I just think that making it the hinge point on the entire book put a magnifying glass on it in a way that I felt a little bit I don't know. It felt not out of character, but like it felt like it went against her character's goal.
Well, and her goal, like, she does the thing that she sets out to do, right? She frames the Rocinante, and it doesn't go the way that it goes. And then she kind of just fucking falls apart. She spirals because she's, like, killed a friend, which in the show is far less clear. It's just kind of some guy.
Yeah,
right? Like,
and like the... Yeah.
What? It's rough.
In the show, she just kind of murders a dude.
Yeah, and it does not have anywhere near the same impact than it does on her in the book. And again, this is why, you say it works slightly more in the book. I actually think it works quite a bit more, for me at least, in the book. She makes a lot more sense as a character, and I think that, like, getting her POV and also the timeline makes more sense. Like the amount of time that she has to really sit with her actions and like spiral out because of them. Well, and works so much better for me.
The show because the show can't show time the same way the books can. The show's version of these events are very fast. Yeah. And it is very interesting. But we're too far into the show. We still have to do, like, the beginning of the show. We got into the book too fast. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the book club. Before we get into the book, we're going to keep talking about it in a second here. But we have some thank yous we got to throw out there into the world before we really get going on this conversation about Abaddon's Gate. First of all, we have to send a huge thank you out to the team over at Cyberpunk TCG. Cyberpunk TCG is the most funded card game. Maybe it might be the most funded Kickstarter ever at this point. Last time I looked, it was at 21 million. Cyberpunk TCG is the upcoming TCG from the Cyberpunk universe, made in coordination with CD Projekt Red. It is making so much money. If you go over to the Kickstarter right now, it is sitting at $25,491,000 raised from almost 30,000 backers. Wow. The Cyberpunk TCG is a very exciting game, and the lovely team behind it sent us one of the alpha kits. That's right. It is a rare experience here to have something before the rest of the world, but they're very kind.
Yeah, and it's pretty freaking cool.
And this alpha kit came with a rare holo card. We got the super exclusive...
You're going to give it away before they watch the video?
It's already in the video. Oh. That video's meant for a week and a half.
Oh, I thought we got the separate
holo... Yeah, that went up before the vlog. We got the Holo Goro Takamura card. Look at that art. If you want to get yourself some Cyberpunk TCG cards, make sure you go over to the Kickstarter before it ends on April 17th.
Yeah.
Get you some cards and come play Cyberpunk TCG with us at a convention in the future. I am going balls to the wall on this one, y'all. I am going to have decks ready, and I want to play with you.
We did a full unboxing video, so you can take a look at everything that's in that box. It is pretty dang cool.
Yeah,
it is pretty.
We'll have a play video up sometime in the next week. Maybe we'll see. We said we're having it up before the Kickstarter ends, so we're gonna hopefully find time for that. We're so busy. Also, a huge thank you and a huge congratulations to Professor McGuinea Pig. Professor McGuinea Pig has sent us the third book in their series. Professor McGuinea Pig, thank you and congratulations on finishing a third book in your trilogy here. That is absolutely incredible. They put a spoiler on the cover for the first book, so we're not allowed to look under this. But this is the Red Man, MJ McGinnis. If you want to check out their first book, The Black Box, that is available, I'm told, everywhere books are sold. And in honor of putting a third book out this year, they have let us know that they are going to be donating a portion of the proceeds for this book to our charity event later this year. So if you pick up the 3 books from Professor McGuinea Pig, you will be pre-donating to Heroes Without Borders 3, which is coming late November, early December 2026. Yeah. So... thank you, Professor McGuinea Pig. Thank you for your kind offer of donating some of the proceeds for this. And I hope that you sell many copies and that you all go check out these books.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited to have more casual reading time because there's so many cool books to read.
Yeah, so many more books to read, including Strixhaven, Omens of Chaos. Out now from Wizards of the Coast and Random House Worlds. That's right. This book by Seanan McGuire. How would you pronounce that name? Seanan?
No, that looks Gaelic.
It's like Shannon or something.
That's gonna be
I don't
a
know
surprise.
How you pronounce this.
That looks Gaelic. That's gonna be a
look at this
Chauvin
Look
situation.
at this Clarus on the cover.
Oh,
Isn't that a Clarus on the cover? If you pick up your copy of Strixhaven Omens of Chaos, you will get a limited edition Command Tower card with the Schools of Strixhaven on it. Look at that. It is a beautiful Command Tower promo card. Raven actually says that they love her books.
Hell yeah.
So
all right.
I'm going to be reading this. I'll look for a review on the channel soon of Omen of Chaos, Strixhaven.
Hell book. Yeah. Yeah, if you're a Magic fan, you're gonna be eating real good this year. Let me tell you right now.
Let me tell you
on our channel
right
and
now.
just in general.
Oh
so.
Boy, we got Magic content coming, kids.
Hell yeah.
We have this. It's a pizza box.
Doesn't look like a pizza
box. But it has
box
a collector booster inside.
I'm actually very disappointed. That box should look like a pizza box, and I will stand by it.
Clarice has really strong opinions about what constitutes a pizza box that I did not know.
Branding. It's gotta look good.
Branding.
It's gotta look good. It's gotta be enticing.
Sure.
To the kids.
All right, that was the needed things.
Yes, now we can actually start book club. Hilarious.
The Expanse, Book 3, Abaddon's Gate, begins with a slingshotter riding his little ship towards the ring. He is trying to be the first person to tippy touch it. And he's really attracted to his cousin and wants to fuck his cousin really bad.
Yeah, that's the only important thing about this prologue.
It's the most memorable thing about the prologue.
Yeah.
He wants to fuck his cousin so bad.
Yeah.
So much so that he's like, I hope in her final video to me she shows me her tits.
Her tits, yeah. I'm like, okay, man, it's kind of weird, but I don't know, it's space, so.
I do love, James S.A. Corey are not at all afraid to include the kinds of inner thoughts that we don't share with other people that we all but that we all have. You know what I mean?
Which cousin?
No, I'm not saying specifically that. I'm saying that like there are multiple times where characters in these books have kind of like gross inner thoughts that they don't express, and it makes them feel like real in a way that I find really interesting.
Yeah.
There are very they're not super polished characters.
Yeah, everyone feels human, honestly.
Yeah, and the horrors of space are mirrored by the horrors of a lot of these characters, like
humanity,
lives and childhoods, and sort of the experience that they have of this world.
Yeah.
And I think that it's I could see them writing these books in a way that are more polished, but they don't feel as like grungy. And I think the grunge is such an important part of this. Like, and it's dumb to say like this guy being attracted to his cousin is important, but I think that it is. I think that there is something about how going to space would change us as a species. And it might not be that we'd be attracted to our cousins, but something about our relationships would be different, especially because for a lot of people, you would, kind of like when soldiers would go on campaign back in the day. When you go out to space, those are the only people you're going to see for months.
Yeah.
Right? And so I do feel like there would be relationships would be very different. Like, I think that people would have like hopper relationships where they're like, oh yeah, I cheated on my wife, but I was on a ship for 9 months getting ice.
Right.
And so like what happens on the ship during those 9 months, that's not really cheating. That's just work. Right. And I think that there would be things like that. And
there's a lot more polyamory.
Yeah, there is a lot more polyamory.
Well, we do know that for sure.
Yeah, from the show. I think that I don't know. I think that they write some stuff into these books that's kind of like, whoa, that's weird. But it is weird because the future is going to be weird.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I don't know. I make the joke about him wanting to fuck his cousin because he just is so horny for his cousin.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, he lives in a very different world than I do.
Yeah.
And I don't know... I don't know that my like social ideas of those constraints make sense in their world.
Yeah, I mean, well, we get into it. Like, what we decide is good is kind of like agreed upon as a species. And
yeah.
In this world, humans have kind of fractured into 3 parts, right?
Yeah.
And so things change. Things would look very different. And I think that these books do a really good job of highlighting that.
Yeah.
But still making everyone, again, feel human. Because I think these books would be a failure if they didn't. Right? If the Belters didn't feel human enough, right? If the Martians didn't feel like they were still human, like if we weren't able to humanize everyone, I don't think that these books would work. I think, yeah, I think that is the most important part about them.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's just it struck me the first time I read it, but then I was thinking about it. I was like, oh no, like, God, yeah, if you lived on a ship for most of your life, why would you give a shit about, like, who your cousin is? And for a lot of Belters, where, like, I'm assuming pregnancy is really hard, they're not even really thinking about having kids, right? I'm imagining most Belters, they're like, having children is rare and very difficult.
Or you have the money to go to Ganymede.
Well, yeah, right? But even that journey is months for some people.
Oh,
even
yeah, no, it's definitely not feasible.
You get pregnant, and then you're like, well, fuck, I need to... Like, you know, for us right now, you find out that you're pregnant, right? And then you have weeks to deal with being pregnant. You have months to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go into the like later pregnancy phase where you can't do as much. But, you know, women, you know, I think my sister was still, her first pregnancy, she was still teaching spin class up until month 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she had 6 months to kind of figure it out. But in space, like, if you get pregnant and you have the money and you want to keep it, you kind of need to go to Ganymede, like, now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because they say that it's better to be there for the gestation period.
Yeah.
Which is, like, immediate. So you're hopping on a ship for 2 months so that you can spend 7 months on Ganymede. I know, maybe you get a job there or something, but...
Yeah, no, you'd have to already know, and you'd have to have the means to do so. It's one of those weird things about humanity where there are literally so many things that can go wrong in, like, creating a new human that it is kind of incredible. Like, it is a miracle that it happens so many times so successfully on our planet. Like it, you know, it's an insane process. Doing that, but in space...
Yeah.
is insane. The fact that it works at all is so insane to me, and I know that they've had years in space, and they've I'm sure that there were years where, like, it wasn't possible, but it just seems insane to me that...
Yeah. Well, I mean, even now, like,
that it works.
Here on Earth, with the medical technology that we have, 1 in 5 pregnancies still ends in miscarriage. Like, 20% of all pregnancies end in miscarriage is, like, that's just an insane number to me.
Is that in North America?
Just globally.
Okay.
James S.A saying 1 in 4.
Okay.
But, like, that's...
Globally, that makes sense, yeah.
It might be 1 in 5 within the first trimester or something like that.
Crazy.
It is a crazy process.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are as good at it as we are is bad for the planet, but has been very profitable for the human species.
Sure.
We've managed to create a lot of labor.
Yeah.
And a lot of wealth. And that's what's important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, the fact that babies can be born in space is crazy to me.
I love that we got from cousin fucking to babies born in space is crazy.
Well, yeah.
The Nerdy Wordy Book Club, guys. Is there any show like that? Is there any other show like this one?
Probably not.
James Ross says, my wife had 2 before our second kid. Tough times. It is tough.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because my family's been through that. And it feels like it is that you're done, right?
Right.
It feels like that means that you won't be able to in the future when you go through it. And that isn't what it means. but there is a grief to it. There's a genuine grief to the child you thought you were going to have.
Yeah.
And the experience of that full imagination of what your life is going to turn into.
Yeah.
And, that you can't help when you are pregnant, or when a family member or a loved friend becomes pregnant, you can't help but just immediately start to imagine the way your life is going to change, because it's going to be the biggest change you've ever experienced.
Yep, 100%.
Or they're going to experience. But, tangentially, everyone in that community experiences it, because we're all part of raising that child, right? And when it doesn't happen, it's a genuine grief.
Yeah.
And I think that because I learned how common miscarriages were because a family member had one.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that helped her with that was finding out that it's 1 in 5.
That is a huge part of it, because for so many years it was like a shameful thing.
And people didn't talk about it.
Nobody talked about it, and so nobody knew that all these other people that they knew had also gone through this thing, and thankfully people are more open about it, and now we have a more of a community around these things, so that you don't feel so alone. But for so long, it was like a sense of shame, and I think that's awful. I think that's one thing that we're coming together to cast off in a beautiful way.
Yeah, and I think that for her, and I think for the whole family, like, knowing that it is just something that happens, mm-hmm. and that you're not at fault. Because I think there is such a rush to, like, blame oneself for things.
Yep.
And that just makes it worse, right? It just compounds on what's already an impossible situation. And
yeah.
And Bryce brings up a great point. It's only in the last 100 years or so the pregnancy wasn't the number one cause of death for women, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Like, this thing that's so necessary to life also kills us.
Yep.
How did people back in the day have, like, 12?
Look, you were either born like baby bearing ready.
Baby bearing ready?
Bearing.
I was like, baby bearing.
No. Fuck? No, or it wasn't for your body. Like it was a lottery.
That's why we talk about them birthing hips.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
So the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale is coming out soon.
Wow. Wow. Anyways, the fact that babies can be born in space is crazy to me. The fact that babies can be born at all, the fact that people make other humans is wild. If you're able to do that, that's all the respect.
People just used to be dying.
Yeah, but
people they used to be dying, man.
Well, is that why there's a slightly higher chance of like having a girl versus a boy? Because they need, because like just as a species, you need more women to bear more children, and if women are like prone to die during childbirth, you would need to keep up with those numbers.
I have no idea.
Because
I'll be honest, I don't know that number is different enough.
I don't know what it exactly is, so maybe not.
It's like 51 women to 50 men, or 51-49, right?
Math. Yeah. It could be. I don't know.
Does anyone know why there are slightly more women than men globally?
Evolution.
I don't think it can be that, because the sperm is the one that determines. So, like, maybe it's just that the, like, X chromosome sperm are slightly more advantaged in the womb. Like, they're like X chromosome sperm are better swimmers.
Is that? Fuck if I know.
Well, because the sperm provides the XY chromosome, right? The X or the Y. The egg is always X.
Yep.
And so, if it's more male babies than females?
Is it? Oh.
Oh, I thought that we have more. Is it just that more women make it to adulthood than men? Because like, at least in North America, we have more women than men.
I think. Yeah.
The birth rate's like 105 males per 100 female.
Just that men die more often as they're younger. Okay, yeah. Wow.
Damn. That's sad.
Wow. great.
It is crazy to me that, like, we will eventually not be able to reproduce because the Y chromosome in humans is degrading.
Degrading?
Yeah, like, eventually, like, I don't know. We'll probably figure out a way to solve it at some point. But technically, the Y chromosome is degrading. And so, over time, it's going to be harder and harder to have boys until there just won't be any boys and then there won't be any humans.
What does degrading mean?
I don't 100% know. But this is a real thing. Like, I'm not like making this up.
All right.
There is on on a long scale, the Y chromosome is like becoming unstable, and we are going to eventually not be able to reproduce.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Jared, welcome on into this fascinating conversation.
How's it going, Jared?
Oh man. Okay. Well, that's fun. That's not gonna happen in our lifetime, so
yeah, I think
we have other things to worry about.
I think we are actually already okay though, because I think currently we can take 2 eggs and make lesbians the biological parents of a child.
I have heard that, yeah.
And so
which is that what happened with Anna in this book?
Anna?
Yeah, her kid. Is her baby like hers and Nona's?
Oh, her kid. I was like,
yeah.
I don't remember this book getting into how Anna was birthed.
I don't know if it says so, but I thought maybe. Because if it's something like I think that's something that's fairly easily imaginable for our future.
Oh, apparently it's called IVG and we can't quite do it yet. I thought we were already capable of that.
Oh,
good. Good to know I'm just spreading misinformation.
Wow.
Sorry, lesbians. I lied
Check
to you.
your facts. Nerdy needs a full-time fact checker, and it's not me because I don't know shit.
Yes, her and her wife are both the daughter's genetic parents.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Honestly, their relationship is beautiful.
Yeah.
She's an incredible character in this book.
Yeah. She really is. She's so different.
Really?
Anna? Yeah. Yeah, because she doesn't come into the story with the backing of the governor in this, the way she does in the show.
Okay.
Because she's so close with, what's his fuck? What is his name? Not Aaron Wright, the Secretary General.
She's close with the Secretary General?
Yeah, in the show, she's sort of in the Cortez role of being the Secretary General's, like, close personal friend that goes on this mission, right? And she's, like, running, like, protests. Like, they get a video of her at, like, a protest, right?
Yeah.
And then people are like, we really want to send her. And so because she has sort of the, like...
Oh, my God, I forgot about all that.
She was a speechwriter. So she has, like, the political backing in the show. And people,
I totally forgot about that. You're so right.
In the book version of her is far more a chaplain. Sorrento Gillis, thank you. Oh, my God, wait. The Secretary General's initials are SG, so he's SGSG. That's so funny. Wait, I just put that together. SGSG?
Love that.
Double S, double G? Oh, man. I could turn that into a great little campaign ad. But, yeah, like, because she doesn't have that political power that she had in the show, the book version of her is really just her words and her connection to people. And so she does feel very different to me in that way because she sort of has to build from the ground up in every way. Whereas in the show, everyone just kind of knows who she is because she's so close with this, like, politically very powerful person. And it's just she has a different relationship with how she attains power. Mm-hmm. And I think that the show made the right choice given the limited number of episodes they had to pull that off, of just, like, springboarding her already into a place of power.
Yeah.
But the more interesting version of her is in the book for me, where she just is kind of like Holden in the first book. She just is the right person to be present for this. Mm-hmm. She is just earnest and capable enough to be that charismatic figure that these people needed to look to.
Yeah.
And... her speeches are very good. Like,
she's not large enough that she steals the spotlight from the other guy.
Yeah, and so she's able to kind of, like, sneakily do the actual job of being a pastor in this environment. And you know, I think that much like modern criticisms of, like, mega church pastors, the way in which she builds her little congregation and brings people to her and has Cortez sort of steal her ideas at every point is a really interesting commentary on like the modern megachurch and the way in which any real change within the like pastoral system always comes from the smaller churches.
Yeah.
And then though any good idea then gets taken by these megachurches that are just obscene money funnels trying to take advantage of the disenfranchised in ways that I think are genuinely disgusting. Like, I think that I personally would advocate for any megachurch pastor to be jailed permanently. I think that the way in which they abuse the word of God in order to have private jets is utterly disgusting to me.
History literally repeats itself, right? Like, back in the day, the priests were all like, oh yeah, no, we wear these gold chains because that makes us closer to God, obviously, because we said so, and gold is just what does that. We don't make the rules. Actually, we do. Like, it's just the same thing again. Yeah, no,
I have a really big problem with them. And especially, was it Joel Osteen that had to be like forced to open his church during one of the hurricanes? And I was like, dude, you're the worst. Like, I hate all those motherfuckers. And I don't want that to come across as if I'm anti-religious. I am not against most churches. I don't go to them. Like, I don't believe in it. But, like, the only ones I have a real problem with are the ones where, like, the guy has 3 fucking planes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that at the point where you're like, if you want to be a pastor, that's awesome. If you use your congregation's money to buy a, like, McLaren, I think you're a bad person.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Like, I think that if you want to be a pastor, that's great. You are deciding to not be rich. Because that's literally what Jesus said. Anyway, someone needs to break into his temple and flip his tables. And it probably will be the second coming of Jesus before we all get fucking Armageddoned off the planet.
Great, can't wait.
You know what? Sounds great.
To go to space?
No, to get Armageddoned, man. Right now.
Oh my god.
Embry says, as someone who grew up and lives outside the U.S., when I learned about megachurches, I did not understand the concept. I had to watch multiple videos. I still don't understand how. Yeah, we don't really understand that either. We don't really get it.
Yeah, don't know how we got here. Agreed.
And they're all just like cults. They're all cults where the people within them make it so that if you leave, you have nothing. Because they become your whole community.
Yeah.
And they entrench themselves in your life so that you can't leave or else you would have to start over.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so gross.
That's scary.
Is because it's so manipulative.
Yep.
It's so culty. And I think that I understand religious freedom. I get it. But like, we have to have some protection against the people who have so much money being able to use it to just take poor people and make them into little mind slaves for their fucked up little organizations.
You know what? I have a solution. Tax the churches.
Ooh, you're getting spicy.
Yeah. I think that's the most lukewarm take I have. I'll be honest.
No, that one's very hot in the States.
Oh, I know, but it shouldn't be. Like, it really shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. Tax the fucking churches. Yeah. Like that's, you wanna feed the poor? That's how you do it. That's how you work together and you actually feed the poor instead of someone gets a McLaren. Like,
the problem with that, honestly, though, is then the churches would just use it as an excuse to spend more on themselves. They'd say, like, see, like, the money we pay into taxes goes to help people, so we can buy another plane. Like, legitimately, that would be the argument they make.
Well, sure, but at least then you are ensuring that some of it does go to government programs.
Mm-hmm. True.
But it's also the U.S. and what government programs.
Marcus says, I feel like something like Scientology is almost the final evolution of that type of institution. I'm honestly surprised Scientology isn't in these books. If anyone is going to be in space doing weird shit, Scientology feels... And maybe Scientology just is, like, protogen, but...
I think what happened is Scientology, their whole thing fell apart once we got to space.
I mean...
Like, where's our alien? You know?
Where's Xenu?
Yeah, can't find him.
How can we get possessed by the spirits that are trapped in the volcanoes if we're no longer on Earth for those spirits to get launched out of the volcanoes so that they can hit the mirrors in space and get rebounded into us?
Yeah, crazy.
But, like, how?
If your church has a CFO, they should be taxed. Yeah.
There are churches with... Wait, that's hilarious. Can you imagine the gall to be like, I'm a CFO for Jesus, baby?
I can't. No, I cannot even imagine.
Like, can they touch the Bible? Or do their hands just start to, like...
into flame, yeah.
Well, that would assume that Jesus is real.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. What a time. Love that.
Should we talk about the book?
We have talked about the book. We're talking about megachurches.
So the Mormons
built a big old megachurch ship. Sorry. That was used to save the day. Thank goodness.
I was surprised. Okay, so we meet early on in this book, Bull, Carlos Sidabaca.
Bull, not the same Bull from the show. Very different.
No, they're the same person.
But the same person, but very
that
different.
Bull comes in after this season.
I think so. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's in 5 and 6, right?
I don't think he's here.
No, he's not in this season.
Yeah.
Bull is a very important POV character, whose entire plotline is given to Kamina Drummer.
Yeah, Kamina, and also like I think a little bit Naomi, or no,
and a little bit Ashford. Ashford is very different.
Ashford, not the same character at all. I was like, what is happening right now?
I am so curious if books after this point make me like Ashford, because boy howdy do I like him in the show, and boy howdy do I not like him here. Ashford kind of doesn't have a personality here. He just sucks. He's just the bad guy.
Why I don't think he's coming back.
But like, he's so important in the show after this point.
I know.
Like, Ashford is like a big part of seasons 5 and 6.
I have a feeling that the show took 2 characters to make show Ashford, and I do think that he won't be coming back.
Wait, Ashford's dead?
He died?
In this book? I don't remember that. Mm-hmm. Wasn't he on the ship? Wasn't he on the Rocinante?
I thought they were talking about him getting a trial.
No, at the end of this book, he's still alive. Because they have him in custody with Clarissa.
Not with, no. Well, not on the Rossi, at least. I knew he was arrested.
Yeah, he was arrested at the end of this book. Maybe he's dead in the next one, which is whatever. It's just fascinating because I'm telling you now, Ashford is like one of my favorite characters on the show.
Oh yeah, he's fascinating.
It's such an insane performance, and he's so good.
Yeah.
And for him to show up, and for me to just straight up not like him, I was like, what did they do to my boy?
Yeah, my boy.
What did they do to my boy?
Yeah, very, very different character.
That's so interesting, especially if he doesn't really come back. Like one of the fun things about adaptation is sometimes you can create something new that is better, and show Ashford to me is just such a fucking win.
Yeah.
I love him so much, and here he is just the most like insecure,
limp dick motherfucker.
And I think that the interesting thing about it is, like, Bull is not on the show at all, but Bull is so good in this book.
Well, he's in the show later, right? Like,
Bull has a few scenes later on, but like he's not this guy. That Bull is also not this guy. But Bull, let's talk about the book. So we're talking about the book. Bull is a former U.S. Marine or a UN Marine.
Yeah,
who now works with Fred Johnson.
Yeah.
And throughout this whole book, just is fucking shit on by everybody all the time for being from Earth, even though he is the best man to be the captain of this goddamn ship, and he should be in charge, but he can't be in charge because of racism or planetism or whatever you want to call it. And so he just has to be the security chief, who's also fucking running everything because Ashford's an idiot. And he does his goddamn job because he loves Fred Johnson so much. And he's just a closeted gay man, deeply, deeply trying to do everything for the man he wants to be his boyfriend. And he puts in that effort, and he fucking rocks. And then he dies for it.
Yeah.
Fighting Marines.
Yeah.
Not Marines. He fighting OPA in Marine armor.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, he blowed himself up.
He blowed his ass up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole time when I couldn't help but think of Odette from Dungeon Caller Carl. Because his body, he can't, he's just...
Oh, limp. Wow.
And I was like, oh, like, he's like Odette. He's just sort of, like, moving around because of this mech thing on his legs.
Oh, my God.
But he actually can't, like, move.
Wow. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Bull is great. Bull is the only reason that this ship is functioning. And...
He's the only reason all of the ships are functioning.
Yeah.
He literally is... Bull is a security chief who just happens to be the smartest person about fucking... This is the thing about space, right? In order to be any of the people on any of these ships, you have to have, like, rocket scientist level intelligence. Like, genuinely. Because you have to understand the thing you're on.
Yeah.
And so Bull is a security chief who's also able to process what, like, the slow zone means. And able to process, like, how to get everyone to safety within it.
Yeah.
He's the one who gets the drum started up. He's the one who brings everyone over. He's also charismatic enough to talk fucking military people into going along with his plans.
He's like, hey, we need to shoot Holden right now.
Yeah.
Like, which is also very funny because we get Holden's POV and he's like, the person least likely to shoot at us is the OPA. And they go, nah, motherfucker.
So that we should go back to the beginning. So we should talk through the book in order, kind of. So at the beginning of the book, the Rocinante crew, they're crushing it. Mm-hmm. They're rich. They're happy. They've been doing some gigs. But the problem is Miller keeps showing up. And Miller keeps showing up while Holden's trying to pee. And Holden is a nervous peer. And so he can't pee while Miller's in the room.
That is
the
conflict of the book.
Sitting there with like little dribbles of piss slowly eking through his tightened prostate.
Well, like the blue fireflies just...
Yeah. And so Miller is not helpful. Miller's just saying random shit like...
Doors and corners!
Doors and corners. There was a hooker on level 5.
Yeah.
And a rookie cop went in.
Yeah, the connection is real bad. You know, it's like that ship Wi-Fi. It's pretty rough.
Oh my God! Don't ever bring up ship Wi-Fi again.
Yeah, but Miller's definitely there, and I do love that Naomi is aware of this.
I do love that he walks out and Naomi goes,
Holden?
Oh, Miller was here?
Miller, yeah.
Holden's like, yep. How do you know? She's like...
You get that look in your eye, you know?
I know you, boy. Mm-hmm. You're my lover, and I know you. I look deep in your eyes, boy.
Yeah. He's not able to read Naomi at all, but she reads him like a fucking book.
Holden in this book, as much as I love him, never really knows what's going on. He is always surprised by everybody.
Yeah.
I think that the writing of it is trying to have him too wrapped up in his own shit to be paying attention. I think that's what they're going for. But it became like almost comical at a certain point in the book where I was like, Holden, are you good, bro? Are you like paying attention to anything?
Look, he's the charisma caster, you know?
He is a warlock. And Miller is his patron.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah. Literally at the end of this book, Miller's like, I need a ride. You and me... We're going out there.
When he stops time in the middle of a firefight?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Holden is literally a warlock. That's so funny.
Yeah, Holden's a warlock.
Yeah.
Amos is a barbarian. Alex is a bard.
Holden is a player that
Naomi's
only
an artificer.
shows up every other session, so the DM is fucking with him. Yeah, Blue.
That's funny.
Blue gets it. Yeah.
Bull is a paladin.
I feel like Naomi's an artificer.
Yeah, I said
Is that what you said? Yeah.
Clarissa is a...
barbarian?
Wild magic barbarian?
Yeah, literally.
Whereas Amos is... What's the most boring barbarian?
The spirit totem barbarian.
Yeah, he's just the base... He's base model. He is just a barbarian who never took a subclass. He's a subclass barbarian. Subclassless barbarian.
Oh my God, that's very funny.
Anna is a cleric. We kind of have a full party here.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 barbarians, but...
Love that.
Yeah, are there any other POV characters I'm missing? I don't think so.
Avasarala.
Avasarala is a wizard.
Sure, yeah.
Because she has like political magic that all comes from experience and training.
Yeah. I love that I can't remember the fucking other pastor's guy. But he literally is like, yeah, Avasarala, and Anna's like, who? And he's like, oh my god. He's like, the fact that you don't know who she is when she runs everything but no one's ever voted for her is hilarious.
Yeah, that was a great bit.
Yeah.
Tilly as a bard? Absolutely.
Oh my god, yeah.
I love Tilly.
Tilly in this book? Chef's kiss. Hey, Tilly, can you just buy the Rocinante for me? And she's like, yeah, that'll be cheaper than giving me, like, the divorce money, so sure.
I did love Tilly. Every time we go back to Tilly, she has found a new vice.
Yeah.
Like every time Anna keeps going up to Tilly, and Tilly's like, hey, I got drugs.
Hey, I'm smoking.
Hey, I have
drinking.
Expensive liquor now.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm like,
$1,000 a bottle.
Everyone is dying. The ships are all going through Armageddon. There's just shooting going on. And Tilly's like, I found another guy. This time, he had meth.
The fact that Tilly survives is a miracle.
And is fine.
Yeah.
Not only does Tilly survive, she's the only person who's never injured.
Yeah.
Tilly makes it through this whole book just getting drunk and high.
Yeah. Yeah.
It became so wonderful every time we checked in with her. And she's just like, I have more expensive booze now. Yeah. My life is great. I don't know why you guys are all complaining. This has been so fun.
Wait, you guys are allowed to smoke? Give me that shit right now.
And she's just chain smoking cigarettes at the end of the world.
Yeah.
I just think it's so... I love characters like her who are so privileged and don't have like a malicious bone in their body. So, like, you kind of, like, roll your eyes at them because they're privileged, but you also, like, don't hate them because, like, they're never, like, mean to anybody.
Well, she is definitely disrespectful to literally everybody, but it's such a, like, ingrained part of how she, like, sees the world. And
I didn't say her as disrespectful.
Anna literally watches her be like, oh, that's the smile she gives when she doesn't see you, like a bellboy or a waiter or whatever. Like Anna literally
yeah.
Like she unless she likes you, she is probably a highly unpleasant person to have a conversation with.
Oh, I believe that 100%. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
And so she sucks, but not in a dangerous way. You know, like.
Yeah, Chris Bailey brings up though, and she 100% shares. Like, I got you booze as well. You don't owe me anything.
Yeah.
Clarissa, I think I like Clarissa because I used to work for a lot of Clarissas. Mm-hmm. And I used to work for, or not Clarissa, sorry. I used to work for a lot of Tillys.
Yeah.
And I used to work for a lot of rich people because I catered in New York, and I worked for Ralph Lauren's daughter and Dylan Lauren for her candy shop, and like I've been around really, really obscenely wealthy people.
Yeah.
And most of them are fucking evil.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, most of them are like really bad people who their wealth has made them incapable of viewing people with less wealth than them as people, and those are the worst people in the world to be around. Mm-hmm. And so I will take 1,000,000 Tillys before I would take one of those.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yes, is she like maybe not the most aware of everyone? No, but she does seem like I would rather work for her than some of the people I have worked for in my time.
Tilly's a better person than the fucking megachurch dude.
100%, because she's honest about it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, like, I don't ever really want that level of wealth. I think that if I ever had it, I would be...
I think it fucks you up.
Deeply uncomfortable with it, and I would give as much away as I could as fast as possible.
I think if we ever started accumulating that kind of wealth, we would do a lot more charity events.
Well, if we ever had that kind of wealth, all of our content would be charity. Yeah. Like, there would be a point where I would stop trying to get money.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't need, like, a nicer house. I already think that we have a massive house. I already am like, we have maybe too much space for the two of us. You know what I mean? The only
other thing I would ever want for us, like we've talked about, is like having an apartment in LA or like a house or whatever it is. And that's
all of our friends are there.
That's kind of it.
But even that, we don't want that to have space.
Wealth.
The reason why we want to have a crash pad in LA is because that's where the people we love are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's cheaper than doing the Airbnb and hotel shit.
For us, like, so much of the way we run our whole life, the part of the reason why going to conventions is work for us is so that we can financially justify going to be with our friends.
Yeah.
And that we build our life around being with those people, right?
Yeah.
One thing that's so sad about the uber wealthy is they lose that.
Yeah.
Right? They uber wealthy people don't even like their friends. They're just in competition with them.
Yeah.
And Fourth says, see, what you need is for your LA friends to have bigger places you can crash with them. I wish. Do you know how expensive property is in LA?
Bruh.
Do you know how many friends of ours have cats in LA?
Well, that too, yeah.
They all have cats, Fourth.
Yeah.
They all have fucking cats.
And you are,
and I'm
like,
so allergic.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, that is
and
true.
I can't drink on allergy medication, and I don't want to be the sober person in LA because they're all on fucking weird drugs. And they're all making out with each other. They make out with so many people in LA.
The weed in LA is so expensive.
The weed in LA is so expensive.
Y'all are crazy.
We went to a cannabis store. We went to a cannabis store because I needed edibles to sleep on the flight home, and we walked in and they have the same edibles that we have here, but they're like 3 times the price.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought shit was
US
expensive
dollars.
in Canada.
No, like, yeah, we were like, what the
Brutal. God, it's pricey. LA's pricey. Their gas is $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's too... Because we had just driven to Boston.
Yeah.
So when we drove back from Boston a week earlier, gas was like, 3 something. Like, it was expensive because of, the Strait of Hormuz crap. But, not crap. The situation in the Strait of Hormuz that is mostly one single person's fault. Really 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 men responsible for this bullshit.
It's always a man.
But it was like 3 something, and then to fly to LA 4 days later, and it's almost $6. I was like, what is happening?
Crazy.
What is happening in LA?
Yeah, but if you want to Uber, it's even more expensive because Ubers in LA are insane.
Mr. Kite says, I don't understand why anyone moves to LA, especially just to do YouTube.
Because everybody's there.
Because everyone's there. The collabs are there. The companies will send you more stuff for free because you're closer.
These studio spaces are unmatched anywhere else in the country. Like, there are lots of reasons. Yeah. And it's part of the reasons that we wanted to move there, right? The people there that you can work with, the opportunities that are there, like... If you are the kind of influencer that gets invited to, like, preview nights and things like that for movies, you kind of gotta be in LA or fly to LA. There are actually a lot of reasons.
Proximity to collaboration is a huge part of this business.
Yeah.
It's why we do so much content when we're at cons, because... And like, we make a lot of content, just the 2 of us, which is awesome. But getting new eyes on things, having collaboration is a big part of that. Yeah. And so... being in LA really helps. And like, we were there for 4 days, and we went to a board game night at the Good Time Society studio with a bunch of influencers and people in the space. Yeah. And then the next night we were at a burlesque wrestling show with fucking Matt Mercer and like some of the Critical Role cast and a bunch of influencers in the space who are friends of ours. And then the next day we were out playing Magic with...
At Guildhall, like...
At Guildhall with people who each have over 1 million followers, and we were like the small potatoes at that table.
Well, we like ran into people that were just there, because people are just there.
It is a city of... You know what part of it is? It's a city full of people who moved there because they believe in their dreams. And so they have the work ethic that we have to make stuff to push their dreams forward. Yeah. And I think that sometimes when I'm around... I don't want to sound mean when I say this, but I'm around people a lot who do not have the drive. Yeah. And what's interesting about them is that they don't have the drive, and oftentimes our conversations fall into them talking about why what they're doing isn't working. And... it's hard because like part of me just wants to be like, you're not working hard enough, and that sounds so mean,
which is the case sometimes, not all the time, but like Yeah, I mean, we're insane. We're crazy. We like working. We like our jobs. We love what we do, and we feel very lucky in that.
And we're considered crazy by people who I think are crazy within the space. They're like, you guys work way too much. And I'm like,
I know. But then we like being around other people who also are that kind of level of crazy and love what they do. So it's and LA just has a lot of those people.
I was having a conversation with our friend Stella Chu, who I love that girl so much.
Yeah.
But she said to me, like, she was like, bringing people into my work projects is my love language.
Yeah.
And nothing has ever resonated with me more.
Yeah.
I was like, like when I ask people to like be part of the charity events, that is my way of letting them know that I like them.
Yeah.
Like that is my love language. It's being like, come be on my work.
Yeah, let's make a cool thing together, and that's what it is. let's make something awesome together. And for a lot of people,
and some people don't get that.
They don't get that.
They're like, why do you reach out every time you're doing a thing? And I'm like, oh no, that's because I love you.
Yeah.
No, you have to understand that is my love language. I want you on my thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should talk about the book. This is not the Influencer Power Hour. Influencer Power Hour is not a bad name for a podcast.
We already have a podcast that we're trying to start.
What's that one?
We've announced it like 7 times and then not followed through with it.
Okay, but why though?
Fuck off. Jesus Christ. We really do need to start that podcast. Book club would be half the length.
Yeah. If we had another place to talk about ourselves.
Wow, we suck.
We're bad people.
Why are you guys here? Why do you like us?
I guess because you're really hot.
No.
And you're in a cute Stardew sweater.
Oh, that's true. I found this at PAX East and I love it.
I still haven't played Stardew. And when Claris bought this, I thought it was just a cute trees sweater. I did not know that it was a Stardew thing.
He had no idea, chat.
Those streams are coming though, soon.
Please.
I want to do Dispatch first and then I'll start Stardew.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Are you streaming tomorrow?
Great question. Hadn't thought about it. I don't know. I might be streaming tomorrow, maybe.
Claris might be streaming tomorrow.
Maybe. We shall see. But something's got to happen on my channel tomorrow, so who knows what the fuck that's going to be.
I think she should stream episode 1 of Dispatch tomorrow.
We shall see.
Who agrees with me, chat?
Oh, God.
If we get enough agreements, she'll feel pressured into it.
Okay,
Let's peer pressure Claris into streaming Dispatch tomorrow.
I'm going pee.
How's everybody doing? So Holden, they're trying to pick up a job. They're trying to leave Sirius Station. And they get locked down because of legal bullshit, where Mars is finally coming after the Tachi, which is the original name of the Roci, if you remember that from Book 1. So we have a problem. We are in legal limbo and we are incapable of leaving Sirius Station. But a reporter shows up and she's like, hey, I am here because I have the ability to get you off of here with basically the Freedom of Information Act kind of stuff. We have a backdated contract saying that you were already contracted to take us to the ring. If you sign it and you take us to the ring, we can get the ship unlocked for legal reasons. And Holden is like, that sucks. And she's like, I know, but do you want to leave? And Holden's like, yes, I do. So they agreed to this contract. Unfortunately, it does mean that they're going to be interviewed. I was hoping that we would get more interview scenes just because I thought they'd be very funny. I really wanted Monica interviewing Amos, but we don't really do that because the crew all realize very quickly that they have skeletons in their closet that they do not want out. And so they all tell Holden, they're like, hey, boss, here's the deal. You need to become so interesting that Monica doesn't think about the rest of us. You need to become the most interesting motherfucker on the planet because it is very important that Monica has no idea about the shit that the three of us have done. It would be very bad for us forever if that were to come to light. And so...
Wasn't there a beer commercial that was the most interesting man in the world or something?
Dos Equis.
Yeah, that's Holden.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard what Clara said because she started speaking from outside the room. But
oh, that's fair. The mic is over here.
Yeah, she was like, isn't there a beer commercial?
Yeah, the most interesting man in the world or something?
Yeah. Blue says, I love the moment before this where Holden freaks out because because the definitely illegal company panics and drops their contracts with the Roci. Yeah, when the shady people are like, you're too shady for us, that's...
He's like, what do you mean?
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I also love that the shady people are like, someone's after you, and Hold's like, oh shit, so they got all these guns, and then this like hot blonde walks out and just like serves them papers. It's like, hey, you've been served.
Papers?
It's a term for when you are served with like a legal, you've been served. Serving them serving someone papers means that you're like, I think that bounty hunters do it, but you basically like, you're an officer of the court in a legal sense, in that if like you are given the papers, the legal documents, and the authority to hand them off, and the trust of the court that if you say you gave them to the person named in them, they believe that that is true, right? But you have to, it's sort of like, what are the people that mark documents as official? Notaries?
Lawyer?
No, a notary. When you get something notarized, you can't just have anybody serving papers. It has to be someone that the court trusts that they will be honest about them having found the correct person. That's why
it's like the courier in Skyrim.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. No. That's a good point. That's a good way of viewing it. But it is important that documents get to the right people. So these are officers of the court whose job it is to make sure that they're handing the documents to the correct person. Which is why you'll have scenes in television where someone will be like, hey, are you Nerdy Nightly? And the person will be like, nope, couldn't be me. Because as soon as you say yes, that it is you, that person can then serve you. And so people go out of their way to avoid getting served because the legal process can't actually begin until you've been served.
Is this a US only thing?
I believe it is. I don't think it's a thing in Canada.
That's insane.
I don't think it's a thing in Canada. But it leads to a lot of funny scenes in television where like really hot people will like flirt with someone and like ask their name and then like serve them.
Right.
Because it's an easy job for if you have the kind of qualities people want around you.
Yeah.
Like James was saying, a guy is suing my insurance. I had to deal with that a year ago. Like that would be a situation where you would get served and
wild.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Holden gets the whole fucking reporting crew on his ship.
Yeah, including a blind man.
Oh.
Couldn't make it as a poor man screaming. No, there is a blind man who is capable of using sound waves to sculpt visuals in a way that, like, the show did not attempt this, really. I don't remember the show really doing this. But
no, he just kind of had his gadgets, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm. But, like, the way it's described in the book is so cool. Look, I think the metaverse is dumb, genuinely, and clearly so does everyone else, because oh boy did Mark Zuckerberg lose just an absolute metric buttload of money on it.
Good.
But I am curious when we start to get into sort of 3D space like this, what kind of dope-ass art people will be able to make. Like, I am very excited for, like, VR to get to a point where I could, like, where people could start to paint in 3 dimensions in a way where I could, like, exist within a painting for an hour.
Isn't that just, like, sculpting?
Yeah, no, for sure. But imagine a sculpture that you could, like, put on a headset and you could just be inside of it. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that there's going to be artists who create truly transcendent pieces of work in a 3-dimensional space that you can, like, plop yourself into.
Okay.
And I do. I think that we're going to... Once we can kind of get VR to a point where it is less nauseating than it currently is, I do think we're going to see people use sort of the digital space to create really, really, like, insane... non-Euclidean nightmarescapes. Yay. Yeah, Emberize. Like, can you imagine, like, an MC Escher, but you're inside of it?
See, my brain is like, God, like, the fucking...
Yeah, sure. We both went the same place, Bryce.
What would those be classified as? Like memorial sites are about to go so fucking hard.
And oh man.
Right?
But can you imagine like being able to like plug into a memorial to someone's life?
Right?
Like really have have an artist design a like tableau, a panorama of a loved one's life and be able to go and like just sit among their greatest moments.
Beats a tombstone.
Like that would be beautiful, especially like you know there's always the thing in movies where there's the one last voicemail.
Oh,
and like you sit in a painting, this like 3-dimensional painting that has these exhibits of this person's life, and it just plays their last voicemail to you as you watch the moments of their life play out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me is what a beautiful memory that would be, and what a thing that we could maybe accomplish one day. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that I'm a big believer that yes, technology is moving forward, and yes, AI is making bad art, but as technology moves forward, we will find a way to make that technology useful to make good art as well.
Yeah.
The crawler that sent this message is now deceased. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh
Woo!
boy. Yeah. That would be a good use of a data center. I agree, man.
Yeah. I mean, we already, dedicate a lot of land and resources to, like, cemeteries and things like that. So, we just be, like, shifting that into a different kind of resource.
How long until we dig up a cemetery to build a data center? Because it's not long, right?
You're asking the wrong person, because I don't really... This is going to sound bad. I don't really care.
About graveyards? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of space, and I don't want to be buried. You know what I mean? Like that sounds awful.
No, I don't want to either. I do think that digging up graveyards is bad juju, though.
Sure.
Like, and maybe that's dumb, but I'm like, karmically, I don't think digging up graveyards is a good idea.
Which is why we let Elon Musk do it, so that he gets cursed.
I was watching a video of 2 guys debating data centers in space. And the one guy was like, data centers in space is like the dumbest thing ever. Anyone who thinks you could put a data center in space is an idiot because you can't deal with the heat. And the other person goes, do you think Elon Musk is stupid? And then it cuts back to the person making the point, and it just stares at him and doesn't say anything. And I was like, that's so funny.
Wow. Do you want me to answer that question? Jesus.
Yeah. Isn't Johnny mnemonic about people recording their POV doing crime? What the fuck? How did we get to Johnny mnemonic?
I have no idea what that is.
Graves do get reused in your country? That's interesting.
Oh.
They get reused in New Orleans. The above ground mausoleums, they replace, bodies are only there for 50 years or something.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact time frame. My family did a tour of the mausoleums in New Orleans when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And it was so deeply disturbing. The way like the hurricanes would come in and the water would pull the bodies out, and so there'd just be bodies floating in the streets is just so messed up.
Damn.
Yeah. Really fucked up.
This is why you get cremated.
Oh yeah, burn the fuck out of me.
Yeah. Plant a tree, you know? Jesus Christ. Make a diamond. I don't know. Like
what?
Like compress all your body parts into
Can they make diamonds out of people?
Well,
is that possible, chat?
Hypothetically.
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough carbon.
People do that. Maybe you just need a lot of bodies.
If
look,
someone were to like...
They do make diamonds out of people. See? Make me a diamond. Y'all, shine bright like a diamond.
Can you imagine getting married or getting engaged and your, like...
This was my mother.
Boyfriend is like, hey, I know your grandma just died and you loved her a lot, so I made her into a wedding ring.
Look, I think that's sweet. It's like people wear people's ashes around their necks. How different is that?
Can you imagine me like, babe, I do want to have sex. I can't wear my grandmother while we're having sex.
Well, I mean, yeah, that might be weird. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, why not?
For Heroes Without Borders 57, the first Heroes Without Borders after Claris dies, we'll do a raffle and we'll sell off a Claris Polaris diamond ring for charity.
After I die?
Yeah, we'll sell off a ring of your body for charity.
Someone might pay a lot of money for that.
For Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah.
Except by then we'll be in space and it'll be like Doctors Without Planets or something.
I mean, that's still borders. I think the borders still, like, count. You know, the borders of, like, the ozone layer and shit. I think it still works.
What is this show, man? How do we always end up in the weirdest conversations I've ever had in my life?
This doesn't seem that weird to me, but okay.
I just joked about selling my wife off as a diamond ring for charity. So that is a little strange.
Sure.
Anyway, so everyone's at the ring. The ring is the ring. You guys know what the fucking ring is. It's the movie with the girl that crawls out of the TV and she's sort of hot and you're like, ooh, she's very wet.
I don't agree with you, but okay.
I'm very much joking. That movie is a goddamn nightmare. And that girl is not attractive at all.
My mom told me that's what I would be good at on TV. Yeah.
Being wet?
No, like...
She was right.
Jesus Christ. No, being like the creepy girls like from The Ring, like, and The Grudge and stuff. She's like, yeah, you'd be really good at that.
I agree with that.
Great. Love that.
One of the reasons why you'd be good at that, genuinely, is the hardest part of that job is like suffering through the filming of it. And once you think that you're in work mode, you will just put up with being wet all day, or in latex all day, or whatever it is.
Might freeze and die, but yeah.
And so, like, I actually do think you would be good at that job. You're also like thin and like ribs. You can like see your ribs, which some people think is creepy.
Yes, some people do think that's creepy.
I just think that, like, I agree with your mom in this one instance, and only this one instance. I think you would be good at that.
Thank you. All right. You know, I'm already pale enough, barely any makeup needed, like...
It's funny, because I get jobs like that because I'm so big. And so it's easy to, like, put stuff on me to, like, make me, like, a lumbering, dark figure in the forest.
Right. Yeah.
And so you and I are the opposite ends of the spectrum of creepy.
I'm, like, creepy gremlin.
We're just two creeps.
Yeah.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
Anyway, this book.
What the hell am I doing here? Yeah, the book that we've done a great job talking about.
I honestly was not loving this book.
Really?
For the first, like...
You tell us this an hour and 18 minutes into the podcast?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It took till, like, I think it was, like, maybe, like, chapter 15, I think, where I was like, oh, okay, we humming. I don't know what it was. I found the beginning of this book to...
I mean, that's pretty early in a 50-chapter book.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the very early parts of this book, I was like, it's not capturing me in the same way that, like, book 1 and 2 did.
Do you think that that's a product of this book starting much slower than previous Expanse books?
Yeah, no, I think that the beginning of this book was a bit of a struggle.
I think you don't like multiple POVs. And so I think that this is the first book with 4 POVs. And so I think that might be part of it for you.
Is it only 4? It felt like more.
Anna, Bull, Clarissa, and Holden are the 4 POVs in the book.
Right, yeah.
So I that is interesting because I think I never felt like I wasn't fully invested in this book.
Oh, wow, okay.
I really liked it.
Just me then.
I had a blast with it. I think this book is deeply fascinating. I think that this book... One of the things that I find interesting about this book is it's very different than the first two Expanse books in that we never cut away from... Book 2 has 4 POVs as well? Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't. It's just Prax and Holden. Oh, well, okay. If you consider the prologue and the epilogue. Oh, no, wait, because we get Bobby's POV. Right. No, book 2 has Bobby, Avasarala, Holden, and Prax.
You know what?
No, you're right, Blue. I'm so wrong.
Okay, but
yeah.
Also, I don't think we got each POV at like literally as the first few chapters of the book. Like I think we jump 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 at the beginning of this book, and I don't actually know if we got all 4 POVs in the first 4 chapters of the previous book. I could be wrong. I
don't remember.
I don't know why it was different, really.
I think that
I just had a wee bit of a struggle with the beginning of this one.
I think that the interesting thing about this book in relationship with the first 2 books is the first 2 books are a series of adventures that are tied together, right? We go to this place, then we go to this place, then we go to this place, then we go to this place.
Yeah.
And there's a mystery that we're solving as it goes on. There's no mystery in this book, right? Like, there's no whodunit. There's no... Even the whodunit, like, even Holden's situation isn't a whodunit because we actually know it's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is the first book where what is going on isn't a mystery. We just have to get to the ring. And so because it's just going to a place and doing a thing that we know is going to happen, it is a wildly different experience from the very beginning because there isn't a mystery. There is no who is Protogen. There is no where is Prax's daughter.
Right.
There are like mystery moments of like, oh no, what do we do now that the ring has done this to us? What do we do now that the ring has done this to us?
Yeah.
But there isn't really like an overarching mystery of this book. Mm-hmm. And so it feels like a very different novel, especially in the back half where it is just mostly surviving on the Nauvoo. Everyone's on the Nauvoo, and we're just surviving on the Nauvoo. It's a big fight.
Yeah.
And I think that as a plot, this is a far less interesting book than the first 2 books. But I think that because of the way religion is brought into it, and because of the way, particularly like Bull's sort of past mirrors Holden so fully, right? Being a former UN Marine guy who became kind of a belter, who works for Fred Johnson, who works within the system of the OPA. Like, Bull is sort of this mirror for Holden's character of who Holden could become if he continues to work with the OPA. I do think that there's a lot more like thematic storytelling in this book about what does it mean to interact with aliens in a way where the first 2 books aren't really about that, right? The first 2 books are about what does humanity do with an impossible technology?
Yeah.
And there's not really a lot of interacting with aliens in the first 2 books. The alien technology exists and it is harming our characters, but it's actually mostly harming our characters because of the actions of other humans. Mm-hmm. This is the first book where the bad things the aliens are doing to the humans are because of the aliens' actions in response to human actions, but the aliens are the ones running it.
Yeah.
And so you get this sort of very interesting book about... This book feels much more like it is about First Contact than the previous 2 books are, even though the aliens have been present the whole time.
Right. That is fair.
This is a First Contact book about coming to understand what the aliens are perceiving about us and the way that we interact with them. Like, how do the aliens view us is such an important part of the solve of this book. How do we not come across as a threat to a far more advanced species?
Yeah.
Is a very interesting question that...
Not even the species, the technology this species left behind, right?
Literally, yeah. How do you come across as not a threat to a computer? Yeah. Is the question at the center of this book. And...
They're basically trying to, like, talk down ChatGPT.
There's just this deeply interesting thought about humanity in that the process of asking humans to not appear to be a threat causes humans to want to be a threat. And I think I think that is a very intelligent thing to say about humans. I think it is a very strong point that I agree with.
Yeah.
And I think this book does really interesting things with that question.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I love it so much.
It's why I love Anna as a character in the book, especially, right? Because she comments on it so often. And that moment that she says that, like, violence is kind of what humans do when we run out of good options.
Yes.
I was like, oh, God. Like, yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, maybe humans are not great at exploring or working towards other options before they go violent.
Well, and I think that that's a big, like, education thing, right? Like, education is degrading. We are getting worse at educating kids now.
And therefore our society
is becoming more violent. And so we're seeing young people are more violent than our generation or our parents' generation.
Yes.
And people say that it's because, like, TikTok, and, like, I do think that's a factor. I do think, like, the onlineification of our children is a problem.
And desensitizing them.
But I also just think that our education systems are failing.
Yeah.
There are too many kids per classroom.
Yeah.
Right?
We're more violent because we're getting stupider.
Yeah, because we aren't teaching, especially young people, better ways of managing situations.
Yeah.
And it is going to continue to be a growing issue as long as there are single teachers trying to manage classrooms of 40 children, right? Like, there just isn't enough. We aren't raising kids in community anymore because everyone has to work all the time to survive. We aren't sending them to schools where there is, like, when I was in school, I think that I was in classes of, like, 16. Like,
at what age?
Elementary school.
Yeah, okay.
Like, yeah, I think that, like, my class was, like, 16 kids.
Yeah.
And my sister was working for a school for a while, and they were at, like, 32. And so we're talking about, like, doubling the number of kids in a classroom.
Yeah.
Right?
We talked about this, I think, on book club before, but in grade 10, I nearly failed high school, and I went to a school that was for kids with learning disabilities. And the biggest change between schools was in high school, in grade 10, my classes had 35 people in it. Whereas at this school, my class was 10 to 15 people. So huge difference. And that changes things immensely.
And once you get to high school, 30 is fine, right? Because you should have the skills to be in a room like that.
Was not fine for me.
But when we're talking about, like, kindergarten and, like, grades 1 through, like, 5, you want...
Kids need attention.
Yes, you want...
Yeah.
You want at the younger ages to have fewer kids in the classroom so that when there are problems, the teacher can kind of teach kids how to deal with their interpersonal problems.
Not just in school, though,
in
but
high school, you should know how to do it by then. You know what I mean? Like, in high school, you could have a 60-kid class in high school. You should all be able to sit for an hour and pay attention to a math class by the age of 15, 16. Now, granted, kids can't read anymore, but...
It was not possible for me. Like,
Oh, no, but and you and I are we were, like, unique cases. Like, we're not... Trying to base the system off of you and I is not a good idea either.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, I'm just saying
that... We both graduated from special needs high schools, so our experience is very different than the average at that level.
Yeah. However, there are people who, like, could also all benefit from the smaller class size and more individualized attention, and we just can't give it to them.
For sure.
And I think that it's not even just schools, but it's also, like, daycare systems, right? They are so expensive that they are so large that kids are not getting the attention that they need.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
In school, out of school, sometimes at home, because their parents have to work fucking 80 hours a week so that they can afford to have their kid in the daycare, to that, like... It's just such a, like, messed up system, and we've really lost the sense of community. And because we're losing that sense of community, because that is disintegrating, I think, this is purely speculative, I have no background or education in the matter, I think that in terms of societies, the, like, United States of America is probably the least community-driven society that I am aware of. They have far fewer social programs. They don't have like they don't live with generations of their parents like in the way that like you would in like Italy or something like that, where people come together as a community to raise children and create a future together.
But to be fair, the Belters do that. And they want to fuck their cousins. So yeah,
you get a bit of cousin fucking, and that's just like a byproduct. And
the Italians are all fucking their cousins.
But I just think that...
Mamma mia, I fucked my cousin.
Whenever I talk to someone who is from somewhere that is not North America, right, they have a stronger sense of culture and community.
Yeah.
That, especially the U.S., definitely Canada... Mm-hmm. Can't speak on Mexico. But no, even,
how did we get here?
Even people from Mexico have like a stronger sense of family and community than I've ever seen anyone from the U.S. have.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that. I feel like we're starting to drift away from the point being about the book anymore, but interesting points.
Sure, yeah.
How did we get here? What were we talking
about? We were talking about Anna talking about violence.
Right. Okay.
That's like
first, because I was trying to make the point that because we're educating and we're not giving kids time as much, a
lot
of young
violent.
people are becoming. I'm just saying that's their first thought.
Yeah.
That we're seeing, tangentially, that we're seeing violence be how people problem solve.
Yeah, they're not able to problem solve. We don't teach critical thinking.
I do think that's why we are seeing more mass shootings, why we're... It isn't just that the guns are available, but I do think it is also that we are like, running out of... Chris Buchan says, I think part of the problem with the U.S. is the lack of community is basically you can't walk anywhere, meaning each house is effectively an island. I agree with that 100%.
Well, that is a huge,
I think that there isn't a lot of ways for people to engage. And, and weirdly, I think that, like, the Belters would be even worse off. Because you would literally be on an island. Like, you would have kids that would spend so much of their childhood as the only child on a ship. You know what I mean? Like...
Oh, in that, yeah. Well, so, and I think that would be the big difference between a ship versus, like, a station, right?
Yeah.
Like, Sirius Station, no one seems to be driving anywhere. You are, like, walking, or maybe you have some kind of scooter thing or something. But, but everyone is accessible to you. And
if you live on, like,
that can be
Sirius,
good or bad.
Yeah, if you live on Sirius, you would be very close with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. We're I don't know, man. One of the things I find so incredible about the Expanse books is that they're talking about some really wild situations that feel like they have nothing to do with modern life, and yet they have everything to do with modern life. Mm-hmm. I feel like they are so... When they wrote these, they were so prescient about a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And, Clarissa makes the AI video of Holden. And that, to me, is... The fact that no one has made a video of Trump with an AI that has, like, drastically affected markets yet is crazy. The fact that it hasn't happened is genuinely surprising to me, given the fact that some AI videos are pretty fucking, like, they're spot on. It's really hard to tell. And, like, I say that as someone who I think I'm pretty good at it. And there are some AI videos I see where I'm like, fuck, man, like, I don't know. We're already at that point. And, like, the fact that we haven't had some real fucked up, like, stocks affecting AI video come out yet is really just luck, I think, at this point, than anything else. Because it's going to happen. There's going to be Trump is going to say something, and we're all going to be like, oh, wow. And a bunch of people are going to go on Kalshi and Polymarket and into the actual stock market. They're going to pump a bunch of money into something. And then the White House is going to have to come out and say that it's fake. And it's going to be really interesting to see what the fallout of that is. Because right now, the current administration is so pro-AI. Trump is posting the most insane AI videos. Like, and I do wonder if that changes if someone manages to use his image to do something that he doesn't like. Like, I do wonder what the, like, downstream effect of that would be. Because right now, I think that it's the current administration mostly views it as a positive, even though it's not doing anything of value. genuinely, they have not been able to figure out how to make value out of generative AI. Plenty of value out of AI. I don't want to argue with people about the fact that like there are AIs that like for companies are doing incredible work to save them time and money. I'm not saying that those don't exist. They do. There are plenty of like B2B softwares, SAS software things that are doing great work for corporation profits while they fire off people, which will have no downstream effects when people can't buy your product. I can't imagine.
It's going to be great.
But
it's definitely sustainable.
Super sustainable. But in the generative space, it's really been fascinating that we haven't been able to figure out how to use it to make anything of value, which is really crazy. Like every ad I've seen that uses AI has just pissed off their fan base.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola's pissed off people with their AI ads. Like it's really interesting that we have this thing, and we're usually as humans so good at figuring out how to make money off of it. And AI video is like the thing we can't figure out how to make money off of. Mm-hmm. It's like the thing we can't figure out how to profit off of. Even though profiting off of video has been like the whole internet. And they can't figure...
Yeah.
And I'm glad they haven't been able to figure it out, but like, it's just fascinating that they haven't been able to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And it's because we just don't like it. Like, yeah.
I do remember when we were reacting to the first 2 seasons of the show, you made a comment about like...
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not more like AI type stuff. And then in like season 3, obviously, it does become a big plot point.
Well, and I think it's because once you get to a certain point, like, it's such a fad for us right now. But when it's no longer a fad, the value of it is going to be really lessened. Because so much of the value of it right now is the fad. Mm-hmm. And... It's sort of like the internet in the 90s, right? Like the .com bubble, we thought that the internet was going to make like all business equal among all things. And then when we realized that it was actually just going to be really good for a couple of companies, but it wasn't going to create so much value that every company was going to be a multi-million dollar company. Like there was a period of like retraction within society around how much money had been spent on this thing. And I am a firm believer that AI is never going anywhere. We're going to have it forever now. I just don't think that we're going to get rid of it. I just think that people who are bullish on the idea that OpenAI, Anthropic, Claude, is Claude Anthropic? It might be. I can't remember. I never use any of this stuff, so I've never opened any of these chatbots.
I don't even know what it looks like.
I couldn't tell. Yeah, you could show me any website that says OpenAI on it, and I would think that that's ChatGPT.
Yeah,
like,
I have no idea.
I've never used ChatGPT. I've never looked at it. I don't have a reason to. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what I would even use it for. But, and I'm not blaming people who do. I'm just saying personally, like I've never been in a position where I was like, oh, I should ask ChatGPT that. I don't think all of these companies can exist. And the concern that I have is that I feel like people are pumping money into anything AI and not being discerning about what is like good. Mm-hmm. And I think Claude will probably stick around. It does seem like at a business level, a lot of people are finding a lot of use for Claude. And it does seem like Claude seems to be probably the best positioned alongside like Google and Google obviously is just Google. Google will be fine. But I really think OpenAI is fucked.
Yeah.
And I think that people who continue to put money in OpenAI are literally just funding their own financial disaster at this point, mm-hmm. in a way that I find very fascinating. Like, OpenAI is clearly losing. ChatGPT is not as good as Claude. Sora was such a huge bomb. Like, I don't know why any investor would continue to fund OpenAI when it just seems like there are better companies doing better work. But again, I'm not like fully locked in because I don't use these services. So I might be wrong about that. But
yeah, I don't know. I, again, have never opened it. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's fascinating because it's such a huge part of our world. And you and I just completely ignore it.
No, I hate it. I am very judgmental of people who ask ChatGPT everything.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All I can say is, guys, I'm really proud. We bullied Tilly Norwood off the internet. So well done.
We all collectively bullied a fake teenage girl.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, you know what? This is one of the few times where I am pro bullying. Well done. Well done, chat. Good work. I hope it continues.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting if it becomes more expensive. If these companies stop subsidizing how much tokens cost with VC money and people actually have to pay for it, I do wonder how much use it would legitimately get. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be the real question, right? At the point where, like, you have to pay for this service, obviously companies will still use it, which is why I think, like, Claude will be fine. But, like, at the point where
what that is.
ChatGPT, Claude is it's like ChatGPT, but they have a lot of, like, business and solution stuff.
Sure.
At the point where ChatGPT is paid because it can't lose $15 million every day, which is what it's at right now, right?
Yeah.
I do wonder what use people will find for it, because Google will still be free. And, like, do people like ChatGPT's answers enough to not remember that Google is just free? That is genuinely a fascinating question to me.
Yeah.
At what point will that happen? I don't know. Yeah, this has been the most directionless book club we've ever done, but I think this has been a really fascinating conversation, and I think that it is a testament to, like, what about the modern world The Expanse is talking about, which is why I love good sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
Is because it gets you to think about the things in your current world that you're interacting with in a different way.
Yeah, and I do love that this was written even before the current state of the world.
Yeah, when did this book come out?
There's so much for us to actually talk about.
It's got to have been 2013.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was in college when this came out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just moved out of just moved to Toronto, which is wild. Chad, if there's anything you want to make sure that we touch on, because we don't obviously have a full book recap for this or for the
We haven't really gone chapter by chapter either. So if there's anything we haven't hit on yet, please just drop it in chat.
Yeah, if there's any questions you want to ask or any things you want to bring up, to touch on, talk about, whatever it is, just let us know. This is an open conversation.
How did you feel about, in my opinion, significantly less Alex, Naomi, and Amos in this book?
Yep. Even less Holden, in a way.
Yeah, I feel like Holden still got his moments, though. He got some really good stuff with Miller, but...
yeah, sure, but I definitely noticed that it was more... It was by far... Like, honestly, I kind of felt like this was Bull's book.
Yeah,
that was who I felt got, like, the front and center attention, in particular. And maybe that is why I struggled with it in the beginning. I'm still not 100% sure, not 100% able to put my finger on that one. But I did quite enjoy the book as a whole. Once I locked in, like, once it clicked for me, like, I very much enjoyed it. And I think it's a fantastic book, especially because of Anna, and that I didn't, like... That I actually felt like I connected to a person of religion in a way that I'm like, it doesn't usually happen.
Deanna says, what did you think of Michio Pa?
Can't remember. Who's that? Oh, Pa is the... Sorry. Pa. They never ever use the first name. Pa is the XO.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, Michio? Who the fuck is Mitch?
You just looked at me like...
Yeah. No, I was like, don't remember half of their name. Yeah. Pa, very interesting character. A character that I thoroughly enjoy, because when they are given new information, they are not stubborn and annoying about it, but they are willing to work with people that they may not even necessarily like to try and do the best for everybody involved.
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of Kamina in her, right? And in the show. I think Michio Pa... I like her a lot. Mostly because I think that she represents a very, like, rational person who deserves her position, just not as much as Bull. And I think it's why Bull's character kind of works. Like, Michio Pa is very important to Bull, and this is kind of his book, right? And so I think that there's an element of she had to be someone that Bull could respect, or else it would be weird. And so she is. Like, she is a rational, but just slightly underprepared person.
Yeah.
And she knows that, and so she is able to listen in a way that Ashford isn't, because he's so deeply insecure.
Yeah.
And, wants to, like, prove something for the OPA, but, doesn't. And so I really liked her quite a bit for, how much she's in the book. Touch Garlic also asked about Sam the mechanic. I am devastated. Sam fucking rocked.
Yeah, that was tough. That was so heartbreaking. Obviously different from the show, right?
Yeah.
Like Sam does not exist in the same capacity at all, but God, she really fucking tried to do the right thing, and Ashford in the book is fucked. Yeah, no, her dying was, that one hurt. That was rough.
Well, and it really is the reason why I don't think that I could get on board with Ashford coming back in the way he does in the show for later seasons.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I would really struggle with him as a character and his redemption because I liked Sam a lot. And, like, it would be... I'm not actually surprised if he doesn't come back. Because I just can't imagine forgiving him for her death.
Yeah.
Because it was so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because it accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And he just murdered her. And so it's tough. Like, her death was really devastating. The way Naomi's reaction to it was written was really stunning.
Yeah. And the differences between, like, Amos, who is, like, angry and violent, and Holden, like, witnesses that Naomi doesn't make it about Ashford, because it's not that.
Yeah.
It's the grieving of this person without the need for violent revenge.
Well, and just, like, the Belter way of, like, they're so used to people dying in a way that, like, Earthers aren't. And there is that, like, little cultural difference in them of the Belt versus Earth. And I liked the way that played out, showing, like, Belters are just kind of, like, space is brutal. And they're a little bit more equipped for that than the Earthers are, who both get angry and vengeful. Deanna says Show Ashford did kill that guy in the show. I know, but I didn't know him the way with the... Like, Sam was Naomi's best friend, and so she's my best friend.
It hits different,
It is the reader experience of... Ashford killed a lot of people in this book, but Sam was our friend. You know what I mean? It does change it in a way that is... It's just very different. Clarissa kills so many people. Everything that... All the people who die in this book are Clarissa's fault. Because they wouldn't have rushed into the ring at speed and caused all the crashing and destruction if it wasn't for Clarissa. Clarissa's literally responsible for tens of thousands of deaths.
I mean, yeah, but so is the... it's probably not Simu Liu, like, but...
Oh, it's not Simu Liu. Well, I mean, no, it would be. That's who he's playing.
Right? Yeah, it's like that person who just has a slightly different part once they're on the station, but it's also the fault of the guy who's like, yeah, I'm gonna...
Well, no, Simu Liu is the one that dies.
Lob a grenade.
Simu Liu is the one that dies.
Yeah, Simu Liu is the one that dies, and that's the one that throws the grenade. Because the ship literally takes him and turns him into goo to fix itself. Yeah,
no, that is Simu Liu's character.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, I think it is, but, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who made the wrong choices and who are at fault, and it's space, and it's ruthless, and a lot of people die for... mistakes that you might not even realize have the consequences that they have.
Touch the Garlic says reactions to Bull's death scene. It was very funny, and I liked that it was funny. I liked Bull's not funny in that like I was laughing at Bull, but like I was laughing with Bull. Like Bull's like I can't remember the exact line, but when he says like I just like that Bull ends on a joke.
He's like, can you hold this for me or something?
That's what it is. Yeah. Like, because he's just this character who is just, really throughout the entire book, he's just slowly dying. Yep. And his situation sucks. Here, hold this for me. And he just is so pragmatic about it.
He's
constantly.
I know this guy can't even hear me. You know, he says it for himself. Like,
yeah, that's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
Is that he is this practical guy in an impossible situation who's literally kept everyone alive.
Yeah.
He's done the right thing at every turn.
Yeah.
He's just trying, man. And these fucking idiots around him are making it real hard for him to fucking pull off the win of a century.
Yeah.
And I just love that it ends with him not... He's, like, too tired to be upset that he's dying. And so he's just, like, at the very end, he makes a joke. Because he's going out on his own terms. And I love that for him.
Yeah. Thank you, Blue, for commissioning that chapter reaction. Because that was really great.
It was a great listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about...
the port molecule?
Well, I was going to say the station and, like, Holden seeing... existence. I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah.
That was wild. I don't even know what...
What a deep thought.
Yeah. No, the problem is that the scene is too deep, that I can't have deep thoughts about it because it feels incomprehensible in a way, but at the same time, I think that it was something that was very cerebral, but they made it understandable for the reader.
I think the book does a better job of it than the show.
I agree with that.
Mostly because it's so much easier to talk about than it is to show visually.
Absolutely.
Because I remember watching it on the show and
we were like, what the fuck?
I don't think I really even understood what was going on until season 4, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Whereas it was visualized in such an insane way in the book, but I felt like it was very clear in an odd way. Like, the lights going out part of it felt very understandable. And
it also reminded me of the episode in Doctor Who where the stars start to go out.
Yeah.
And so that immediately, that just, like, that clicked for me.
Yeah, the show's version of it felt very like I was on drugs. And this did not feel like this. Felt like it was a desperate message.
Yeah.
Like, it felt tragic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that what's so cool about that is they don't show the aliens.
Yeah.
They show civilization being burned out. And because of that, Holden is able to really just... Because Holden doesn't have an idea of another civilization. So Holden implants humanity on that.
But
because it's such a natural thing for us to do.
He has the feeling of, like, of pieces of him dying. And I don't know how you convey that visually in a show, right? But because we're in his head in the book, he's able to be like, oh, those solar systems just went out. And I felt I felt their life end.
It
right?
very much reminds me of Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope, when they're in hyperspace headed towards Alderaan. And it's just that moment of him just hitting him. Like, he feels it through the Force.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers for a movie that came out in 1977.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it so reminded me of Obi-Wan in that moment. Of just this, like, that feeling in your chest of, like, oh, something awful just happened.
Yeah.
And Holden just experiences that. And it's so interesting because it's not present in any way. It's so long ago. And yet, tragedy is one of those rare things that can still be present. Right? Like, no matter how it's communicated, we are able to pass tragedy down in a way that I think humans are built for, because it's how we learn and grow from situations. Like, I think our brains are hardwired to talk about tragedy, especially old tragedy, as a way to attempt to not make the same mistakes over and over again. And what's fascinating is that there's so many people... I feel this way about Holocaust deniers, right? Where I don't think most Holocaust deniers are evil. I think that they become evil because in denying the Holocaust for their own well-being, right? They can't imagine that scale of tragedy. It is too much for them, and so they deny it. Like, no, that can't have happened. That would be too bad. That would be too awful, right?
Yeah.
They have to deny the scope of the tragedy because they wouldn't be able to live with it. Mm-hmm. But in denying it, they become comfortable with new tragedies in a way that is a tragedy. Whereas because I do not deny the Holocaust, and I know the awfulness of it, I am desperate to not re-experience that, or for anyone alive to re-experience that, because it happened, and we should have learned from it. It is hard to know that it happened, right? It isn't easy, but it did. There's too much evidence that it did.
Yeah.
But there are people who cannot handle that, and so they try and deny horrors. Mm-hmm. But those people are more likely to allow fresh horrors than people who accept the horrors of the past, right?
Yeah.
They are more... The people who are denying climate change because they just can't fathom it are going to be the people who live on the coast of Florida and are going to be wiped out by climate change, right?
Yeah.
And you see that in these systems of the people become overwhelmed by the awfulness. And so they deny that it exists. They stick their heads in the sand, and then they are the ones that have to live with the fact that more awfulness happened because they ignored it. They ignored the fresh horrors of the current situation in the United States, or the current situation in Israel and Gaza, or the current situation in Iran, or the current situation in the Sudan, or the current... They're saying those things just aren't real.
Yeah.
They're denying the reality of them because they can't handle it, which is allowing them to happen.
Yeah.
And it is by accepting the tragedy into ourselves and acknowledging it and living with it that we are able to stop it. And this scene is a representation of that. Holden is able to stop this second tragedy because he believes and is acknowledging the tragedy that he experiences through this vision. And it is people like Ashford, the deniers of reality, right? The people who live with the idea that it didn't happen, that are causing the situations that lead to more tragedy. Mm-hmm. And the book is very thematic in that like it is the people who accept that we have done bad things. Anna, Holden, even at the end, Clarissa, right? When she's finally able to accept the awful things she herself has done,
True.
She's able to be a character that acts towards the preventing of other bad things.
Yeah.
And I just think that is... I think this book really nails that. It's one of the reasons why I love this book so much, is that storytelling of like, do you want to be the person working towards solutions, or do you want to be the person working to be a hero or a martyr?
Yeah.
And generally, being a hero and a martyr doesn't actually make things better for other people. It's self-glorifying.
Which is what the other pastor...
Cortez
was trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a megachurch pastor. Of course he is.
Yep.
Talon Rommel says, I just realized that this is a great week to get back into this book series with Artemis 2 going back to the moon and coming back today. They land today? I thought it was tomorrow.
Damn.
Wait, when do they land?
I don't know.
I'm so excited for them. That, the black guy on that crew, I should know his name. I feel bad for calling him that. He has been, every time he talks, I have been locked in. He has had some fucking banger speeches. He is like such a 6 p.m. Eastern. Oh, sick. What is his name? I need to say his name. I feel bad about how I just addressed him. Also,
oh no, it's 8. It's 5 Pacific, so 8 Eastern.
8 Eastern. It looks like it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. 8
wow, they have it to the minute. They say that at 7:53 they will enter Earth's atmosphere. At 8:07 they will splash down. That seems way too specific. Victor. Yes, Victor. Every time this man has spoken, I have been like in awe of the humanity and inspiration that he has filled his words with. I really think like there's been 2 speeches in particular that I've seen him give from the capsule that I think are going to be like videos they play in schools for years. He has just had a way with words. And it's been really uplifting and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it's been very special. This whole Artemis thing, I've been following it every day. I thought they landed tomorrow night for some reason. I don't know how I messed that up. But yeah, Victor Glover, what a man. What a time. You know what I mean? Like, it does feel like there's so much awful in the world, and then this whole mission is so inspirational to me. It's been so cool to watch. Yeah. Just to go around the moon, just to go there and come back.
Yeah.
It's also led me to understand people are fucking stupid.
Oh my God.
The number of people I've seen tweet, like, wait, because they posted, like, this is the furthest humans have ever gone away from space, from Earth, right?
Yeah.
And people responding to that with, didn't we go to the moon, though? And there's, like, it's like, yeah, the moon is closer than the other side of the moon.
Yeah. I always thought of myself as like a very average intelligence person. You know, I'm like, yes, I'm super mid, whatever. But like sometimes being on the internet makes me feel so smart because so many people are fucking just so morons. Stupid. I literally am like, wow, there's a lot of stupid fucking people out there.
And the problem now is because there's blue checks making money off of just engagement farming. Like, it could just be bait. Like, It could just all be bait.
Yeah, half of it's not real. Half of the rage shit that you see, like... So on Threads, you can go and see where an account is based out of.
Yeah.
If you see someone who's copy-pasted some kind of rage bait, you can go and check their profile. They're usually based out of Russia or Indonesia.
Indonesia? I mean, again, the Indonesian dollar is so cheap. Like, the money they make from Twitter... in those situations, it makes sense because, like... The money's worth so much.
Yeah.
But that's so fucked up.
Yeah. It's something.
So James S.A says they have the whole mission timed to make sure they are accurate. It would be really bad if the math was off. If they don't know the reentry speed angle, then it's almost a guarantee to burn off or bounce off.
It's why they have the exact minute for everything. Yeah.
It just... Maybe I'm just dumb, but it seems like...
You gotta account for traffic, you know?
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, no, actually, that does make sense. Why wouldn't you be able to time it?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Nothing's in your way unless some, I don't know, space...
And you know the exact speed that everything is going.
Yeah.
And you can control the ship's speed to a certain degree.
Yeah. You have to know... where the Earth is moving. Yeah, no, it is all very exact. It's just very funny of our concept of travel is hindered by so many factors that they're just not, right?
Well, and in my mind I was like,
they don't have to like de-ice the plane.
But what if something happens? But like if something happens,
that's like
it either goes perfectly or they're dead, right? Like so it is sort of a situation
kind of yeah. Yeah, we gotta be real specific.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go live and watch the splashdown together.
Oh, I mean...
That could be fun.
As long as it all goes well.
I think it's going to.
No, I think
I feel really optimistic about this. Victor Glover has given me, like, optimism for humanity.
Wow, that's tough to do.
What if they hit a red light?
Yeah. Yeah. What if Google Maps takes them down a side street that, like, is blocked off for construction, you know?
Yeah. Or Earth gets wiped out at some point today to be turned into a mega highway for space, and then they have to go on a galaxy-spanning adventure.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, maybe we should go live and watch the splashdown with the community. That might be fun.
Yeah, why not?
One of the corrections went to your college. That's awesome.
That is really cool.
Imagine a shuttle hitting the roof. Imagine them crashing into our house midstream. God, the numbers, the views.
Yeah.
If we got hit by Artemis, literally,
we die famous.
We would make so much money in our death.
Wow. To go to who?
My sister's kids.
Yeah, we don't have a will for that. So.
I got nieces and nephews. We don't have a will.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something to think about. Anyways.
I mean, honestly, right now they would just inherit a very complicated tax debt. So.
Uh-huh.
That video better go crazy hard to pay off the government so that they can have whatever's left.
True. Wild. Anyways.
We're fine. We're fine. But commissions are open.
Wow. It's tax season, y'all.
Oh, man.
Next week, we start Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 4.
Yes, we do. Do we have a split for that yet, Arzu?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. We should probably make a...
There's a bunch of commissions, so you're going to be seeing...
Photo.
Members and patrons, you're going to be seeing a lot of us.
Yeah.
We do. I've already posted the split for that.
Yeah. Also, y'all, we are going to be at Dokumi-Con in Germany at the end of May.
That's crazy.
So if you live nearby, you can come say hello if you're around.
Did I... Wait, I made a schedule for this.
We do have splits?
Did it not go up? Oh, did it not get pinned?
You didn't pin it?
I might not have.
Oopsie. Because, yeah, I was like, wait a second, I think we...
No. We never posted this schedule in the Discord.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we not put in announcements, maybe? Maybe it was announcements. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's in it, yeah. Apparently
we should make sure that's in book club as well.
Cool.
There we go.
There it is.
So next week we're doing chapter 1 to 19 of Gate of the Feral Gods.
Nice.
I'm so excited to get back to DCC, y'all. I love it so much.
Me too.
I'm deeply obsessed. We bought pins. Oh, you guys don't know about that. We bought pins at
PAX East. They had like not loot boxes. What are the mystery bags? For pins.
For DCC pins, we got. I got Carl's underwear.
Yeah,
we got a glurp pin.
Glurp. Yeah, we got the we got Carl's foot.
We did get Carl's foot. Yeah, and it just says it's time to pay the daddy tax.
Yeah.
And then what was the last one we got?
Can't remember.
What was the fourth pin?
It's definitely on the pin board.
Yeah, we already put it up.
Yeah.
I'm just Jared started DCC 2 weeks ago, and they're on book 7.
Hell yes, I love that for you.
When is the plan to get to Expanse book 4? Probably in May.
Well, we're doing the first Heated Rivalry book, so it might end up just mathematically being the first. It depends if we want to keep doing Heated Rivalry stuff alongside of Expanse, or if we just want to do the first one. We're kind of going to see how it does.
Yeah, we're going to see if there's interest. And then we might, June might be all the first... Heated Rivalry.
Oh, because it's Pride Month?
Yeah, we might be doing Gay Month, and so we might be doing all the Heated Rivalry books in June.
Yeah.
If the first one does well.
Yeah, if the book club does well, we're going to do gay shit for June, which means that I think we're going to get to book 4 of Expanse in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do Gate of the Feral Gods in April, and then we're going to do book 5 of DCC in May, and then we might take a month of gay shit, because the goal is to be caught up for the new DCC book in October. And so we would still be on track for that.
What's in October?
The new Dungeon Crawler Carl book 8.
Oh, I thought that comes out in May. That comes out next month.
What?
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, it comes out in May. That's why he's doing the tour in May. Doesn't it?
Wait, what? I thought it was like the end of the year. I thought he was putting out Operation Bounce House right now.
Oh, is that not the next book? I don't know.
No, that's like a one-off, like...
DCC is out in May.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I thought it was the end of the year.
No, there was no way we were going to catch up. That's why we're like,
Oh, fuck, never mind.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was like, October? What the fuck is in October?
Never mind.
Yeah, no, we're not going to catch up.
We're not going to catch up. Never mind.
It is what it is.
So anyway, we're gonna, but yeah. So if the Heated Rival book club, like if no one shows up for it, then we won't spend a whole month on it. We might just read those on our own or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's gonna kind of depend on how that book club goes on May 1st. Mm-hmm. We're gonna kind of set the schedule based off that. We really want to support the Heated Rivalry thing right now. We want more gay shit in our life.
Yeah. It's also Canadian, and like there's just yeah. There's a lot of love for that.
But yeah, I think the goal is still to try and get through all of the Expanse this year. We might not get to all 9 because the last 3 we'll probably slow down for and do them in chunks.
Oh, yeah, because we'll actually be able to make predictions and things.
Yeah, so, like,
Fair.
The Expanse might be, like... The Expanse might be something where, like, books 7, 8, 9 are, like, November, December, January.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might slow down book club to do those.
Yeah.
Once we're fully caught up on DCC.
Mm-hmm.
And then starting next year, who knows what book club becomes? We'll have done all of DCC. We'll have done all of the Expanse.
We've got some Brandon Sanderson we do want to get back to. You know, I'm excited to read Tress.
Yeah, and Fires of December comes out later this year.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. We're just kind of
What is that?
The mouse.
Oh, the mouse battery is low.
We got a lot of stuff we want to do this year, and set ourselves up for new stuff next year. Who knows? Maybe we'll start Discworld.
Wow! Don't say that. People are gonna lose their minds. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Are there any things about the book we haven't talked about that really people want us to get into before we get out of here?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because we know that the books go past where the show goes.
Yeah.
Do you think we will have to deal with the nothing plague?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd think so.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck humanity deals with that, but hey, we're persistent motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think that it makes, or we have to deal with the aftermath of it, or something. There's going to be some element of it. I do have a feeling the series ends on a hopeful note.
I would like it to.
Not a perfect note, but like a hopeful note. Mm-hmm. So I don't think this is like humanity gets wiped out at the end, but I do think that like maybe that ends with us turning off the ring and like being happy with what we have in our solar system.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No.
James Ross says, would you go to a sermon by Anna if someone invited you? It would really depend on the context.
I'm not religious.
Yeah, I think that I think that I think that there is a version of it that I would like. There are events that I would go to a sermon for. But no, not generally. I think that I would really love to go to a funeral that she's the speaker at. I think she would have a lot to, especially if I loved someone. You know, like I will go to a religious service for a funeral. We went to Shiva for a friend last year, and I thought that going to that was very beneficial for your grief and for saying goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in participating in. I'm a big believer in participating in religious ceremonies around death, particularly to be present for the family, right? Like, you know, I wouldn't want a religious ceremony at my funeral, but they would, and so I will participate in it for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not particularly interested in just going to a sermon just to go hear someone talk about God.
Yeah, that's the thing is
I've been to enough.
While I do think she's incredibly well written, and I love the way that she sees and interacts with the world, I honestly think she might be one of the few religious people that I could be good friends with as well. I just can't.
There are many religious people that you are good friends with.
Like,
there's a lot of religious people in our life. Well, I guess not anymore. I have a lot of religious friends in New York who like go to church.
I don't have any.
That's interesting.
One kind of. Like,
yeah, you don't really have any religious friends.
No, I can't.
It's because you're such a bully.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't relate to it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
That's interesting. Because I used to sit through so many services because I sang in church as a job.
Yeah.
In New York, like I would sub in for singers and church choirs. Great money if you can sing harmonies.
Yeah, for sure.
Like $250 to sing for an hour in church is great. But that's fascinating. Yeah, you don't really have anyone.
Yeah.
But your parents, you like didn't go to church much growing up either.
No, my parents tried to go to church one time in Calgary as like a social activity to meet people, and they were like, people were barking and running circles around the church, and we
don't believe that. By the way, your parents, yeah, I don't know.
I also, my parents, again, socially went to church when we lived in a small town, right? Mm-hmm. But apparently I ruined that real fast. So...
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it is fascinating, like...
I started quoting Hitler. Like...
You can't say that. You can't just say that
on its
own.
I was 3.
You can't just out of nowhere just say that on the internet. You are too white. Please tell a lot more of the story. I am begging you to not leave it at that.
Okay. My mom was watching a Hitler documentary where he said God is dead, and at church I got up and I said God is dead, and it was a problem. I was a problem.
Jesus Christ.
I was 3. I don't know. Like... It was a time.
You can never, ever, ever online say I was quoting Hitler and then stop talking. It is simply unacceptable. It is just, and like, you can't stop there without any context and think it's a funny story.
I thought I've told this on before.
We're gonna be so canceled.
Try to not repeat stories. You guys have heard all my bullshit before. I'm not that interesting.
You just can't say that. And you're not allowed.
Anyways.
You have to say the full context of the situation. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Thank you, James Ross.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, no, I've just never been religious, and it's just not something that I can truly understand. And I think that a part of that is that I know I'm judgmental about it.
Yes, you are.
And I probably shouldn't be. I'd be a better person if I wasn't. But I find it very difficult.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
As long as you're not mean about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm acknowledging a flaw within myself. Mm-hmm. And that is what it is.
Yeah.
I think we will end up reading the novellas.
And Bryce, I never said I was into cousin stuff. We gotta chill the fuck out, okay? However, if I was Ella Purnell's character in Fallout's cousin, I would be into cousin stuff.
That's fair, yeah.
What's her character? Lucy? Lucy on Fallout, I would do cousin stuff for. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
In the vault where no one cares? Absolutely. There are people I would do cousin stuff for.
Wow. But are any of them your cousins? Are any of them your cousins?
No.
Well, see, there you go. So it doesn't count.
Yeah, like I'm not attracted to any of my actual cousins.
Different. Yeah. So they...
Yeah, that is weird, right? Because you could say, like, I would be attracted to them. I am attracted to them, so I would do them if they were my cousin. But would I still be attracted to them if they were my cousin?
Probably not. Well, who knows?
Well, no, because, like, I've got cousins... You are Southern. I've got... Sweet home Alabama. I've got cousins who I'm, like, I think are, like attractive in, like, in the abstract way that, like, I, like, acknowledge that, like, my sisters are, like, attractive women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like that.
But, like, I could... And they're not even blood related to me.
Sure.
But, like,
you're like,
there's no world.
Yeah.
From the day my parents told me that they were getting married, there's never been a moment of me... Yeah. So, I do think
I think it would change something in your brain, and you're like, nah.
If I was raised in a Fallout vault, I would be a different person, so it, like, wouldn't matter in that way.
Sure.
But, like, me, if I was transported there and told that's your cousin, I really don't think I could. I don't know that
that's weird.
The way that my brain is hardwired by the way I was raised, I do think it would immediately be a turnoff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not into that shit. And I think that part of it might be, like, the like, jokes about Alabama growing up. Like, you know, like, there's that weird element of, like, because it is, like, a joke that I make about my family.
Sure.
That it's, like, an extra turnoff because I've, like, joked about it so much that, like, I couldn't then go through and do it because it's something I've, like, mocked. Right?
Sure, yeah.
Well, no, I do think that that's a thing for people. Like, you kind of we all kind of become this amalgamation of experiences, right? And part of my experience has been the, like, joking of my family maybe doing incest because they're from the South, and so I couldn't, like, join that because it would be like I have a weird mental block about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
we got one last question before we head out. Roden asks, what do you think about Clarissa's redemption arc in this book versus the show?
I don't really think it's much of a redemption arc, to be honest. I just don't. Like, I think that, like, Amos kind of calls her Peaches. But...
Well, yeah, I mean, they have, like, time together afterwards. And look, I definitely, in the show, I remember being like, you know, fuck her. Like, yeah. However, I will say, for all the reasons that I explained, 2.5 hours ago, we kind of touched on this at the beginning.
Yeah.
I actually do think I understand her better in the book, being in her head, the timeline, the extended timeline of it, seeing her absolutely fall apart and spiral, like, how she comes to the conclusions that she comes to.
Sure.
I do have a level of understanding for her in the book than I did more in the show. But I guess it really comes down to, do you believe that everyone is redeemable? And someone like Anna would say, yeah. Because who gets to decide that? I don't know. I think it's really tough. I think she did horrible things.
I don't care. I just don't. I don't know that, like, once you've murdered that many people that I give a shit.
But also, but she also is like, no, I should go to jail, right? There is no part of Clarissa that thinks that she should get off scot-free.
100%. And I don't think she should be killed. I think she should go to prison.
And that's, that's what we do.
Her redemption doesn't mean anything to me because, like, she's killed so... Like, it's not that she... Look, if she made the video of Holden... And, like, all those people died because of her actions, but that wasn't, like, her intentional goal. It was just to fucking ruin Holden's reputation.
She planted a bomb.
I would feel very differently about it, but she blew up a spaceship full of people.
Yeah.
She killed Ren with her bare hands. She killed those guys that she got her fake identity from. That one I'm not actually as mad at her for.
Yes.
Because they did try and shake her down.
Yes. Yeah. That one we can forgive.
She did, like... She killed a lot of people accidentally, but she also killed a lot of people very intentionally.
Yes.
And, like, yes, she's mad at Holden because Holden fucked up her family's estate, but, like, she's literally mad that her dad had to face, that Holden caused her dad to face the consequences of his own actions.
To be fair.
It's not like Holden targeted her dad unfairly.
Oh, no.
Her dad is a fucking monster.
Absolutely.
And did those things.
Absolutely. But because her dad is a monster, I have more sympathy for her brainwashing because she clearly is unwell.
I don't care when you blew up a ship.
Yep. No, you know there are lines. Like, there are lines.
There's no...
But it just makes me, like, understand her more, right? I'm like, I see why you got here as opposed to you just being evil, mustache twirly villain, right? Like, there is a series of steps, your upbringing, your family, your relationships within that. Like, she is not the brightest person, but she has the means.
Except that she is a super genius.
What do you mean she's... What? No.
She's not. She hacked advanced military technology.
She paid someone else to make a thing. No. She paid off people to do this shit for her. She gets on a ship, gets a job. She doesn't even know how to fucking do properly.
No, she doesn't know how to do the environment tech stuff. But she's the one that makes the thing that's put on the Rosie.
I thought she bought that. Because she's a rich girl.
Maybe she did.
She's a rich girl who paid someone to go plant the thing.
I think that I'm remembering the show. Where, like, she, like, hacks the Rosie. And I was like, this girl is too smart. No, she bought it. She used her money, because that's all she knows how to do, to do this terrible thing. See, but, like, I just don't have that much sympathy for rich people. So, a rich person who murders because someone impacted her family's ability to use their money to murder, innocent people, like hundreds of thousands of innocent people. I don't have any sympathy for her.
But it comes back to the brainwashing thing. We know what a horrific person her father is, right? Like, he is, like, the worst that humanity has to offer. And she got caught in that web. And she doesn't handle it well, right? Julie is an example of how Clarissa could have chosen to be different, be better, and she doesn't. And that is her fault. It is also her father's fault.
Somewhat, yeah, but, like, obviously the brainwashing wasn't strong enough for the whole family to be culty, right? Julie got out. So I do think that, like, being like, I don't have that much sympathy where like, oh my god, I cannot believe I murdered because I was insecure because my dad liked my sister more than me. Like that I just don't care. Rot in jail. Good for you.
And she agrees.
Oh, I know. I just like, I don't sympathize with her at all. Like, you have all the resources in the world available to you, and you murdered people so that your dad would acknowledge you is just like the saddest. And like,
but no one who is in their right mind would ever do something like that, you know? Like that is
sure, she still murdered. I just don't think that I need to have that much sympathy for people who commit mass murder. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes in our modern society we're like trying to find sympathy for everyone, and I'm like, nah, she killed too many people for me to actually give a shit. I just don't. Like, once you blow up a ship of innocent people who aren't even like related to your goal,
yeah,
it's just like, once you are sociopathic enough that you can cause like literal like random casualties in the hopes that it might cause your target to suffer, I'm just kind of like, nah, you're too far gone. The blowing up of that ship that's too far.
Yeah.
She is so irrational at that point that there is no like she's become a better person. No, she's a lunatic. She has to be locked up for everybody's safety. Mm-hmm. She is like, there's no rationality in her actions at all. She's fucking off the reservation, and I don't have sympathy for her. She deserves eternal imprisonment just for everyone else to be okay. Yeah. Right? Like, just for everyone else to be kind of safe. Mm-hmm. That action didn't target Holden at all. Like, it's not even like.
Well, no, that's exactly what it did. It was a setup. She had to do.
But it didn't actually. But every single person on that ship was innocent to what she's upset about.
100%.
It doesn't targeting Holden is one thing. Targeting innocent bystanders to hopefully harm Holden is so much worse. And Holden's also innocent, right? Like, the thing that drives me crazy about Clarissa is that everything her dad did, Holden just brought it to light. Holden didn't do anything to her father.
Yeah.
Like, Holden did not attack her father in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. Her dad did stuff, and Holden was like, hey, this happened. And she's like, how fucking dare he?
Yeah.
How dare he expose my father's evil plots? It would be like blaming a police officer for catching your father killing a child and being like, how dare that cop get body camera video of my father murdering a baby? It's the people who are mad that Clarissa is mad that her father is in the Epstein files. And she's mad at the cops for putting those Epstein files online. Mm-hmm. She is literally like, how dare they say that my father was on the island that he was definitely on?
Yeah.
Like, she's a lunatic, and I do not feel sympathy for her. I don't. I'm sorry. Your dad's bad, girl. And like, he's provably bad. Fucking read the Epstein files and get over it and stop killing people. Yeah. I'm sorry, but you're not redeemed because you had one moment of doing the right thing at the end of the book. Like, this is fully like, calling it redemption is going like, you know what? Anakin Skywalker was a good guy in the end. No, he wasn't. He did one good thing. He killed Palpatine. He did one good thing. He still stabbed children. Okay? He's not redeemed. He's not good now. He's still bad. You don't get one action that is kind of good, does not redeem the very, 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 very bad things that you did.
Some people do consider that redemption.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry. It just is bullshit. She doesn't even like, I guess she saves Holden, so she does kind of like redeem herself to the person she was harming or intentionally harming. But like, no. Fuck Clarissa Mao, okay? I'm saying it here. I get that, like, the show kind of makes you like her later because of her relationship with Amos, but fuck that girl. She does not deserve the joy that she feels with Amos later on.
Well, and what happens to them, it happens out of necessity, right?
Yeah, true.
You know, we won't jump ahead to those spoilers, but if you've read or seen that far ahead, you know, right?
Embry says, we're back to the question of whether redemption is even possible at all, and if it is, who gets to judge whether a person is redeemed?
Yeah.
I think redemption is possible. I don't think that everyone deserves the chance to redeem themselves. And those are different things, right? I don't think that Clarissa Mao should be allowed to be free among a population to put the work into redeeming herself, because what she has done is so illogical and so crazy.
Right.
That we cannot trust that she's going to make good decisions, because she's clearly not in her in any right mind. She is a fucking lunatic who murdered hundreds of people so that she could make a statement about a different person who wasn't on the ship she blew up. That is just so impossibly, like, beyond the pale of even the idea of revenge. You can't trust her to do good things in the future. Right? You can't trust her to not be sociopathic in the future. Her doing one good thing does not say that she is going to do good things moving forward, because she is not behaving in a rational sense of mind. Redemption is not a single action. It just never is. Redemption is possible, but redemption is ongoing action. It is provably changing over a long period of time to a course of actions that prove that you are A, benefiting the person that you harmed, and B, not going to harm other people in the same way. And you can't do that with one action, because everyone is capable of doing a nice thing. I am sure there were days where Hitler did a nice thing for somebody that didn't imply that he had drastically changed his worldview and was going to do good things by people for the rest of time. Because single actions are not judgeable. You can't, I mean, I guess bad ones are. You can murder someone and then go to prison for it. But redemption is in the long-term change.
So you do think
and not everyone deserves that.
You do think that she can be redeemed because she goes to jail and, like...
Well, jail isn't redemption, but yeah.
Well, but you say it's about the choices that you make over an extended period of time.
Yes.
And, you know, if you are there serving your sentence and trying to be better and just, you know, existing and living out your life and not trying to do harm by others, are you therefore able to be redeemed after a certain amount of time?
No, because not once you've killed hundreds of people. I actually don't think there is redemption for that. Like, genuinely. I don't know that there are any actions that you could take after you have intentionally murdered hundreds of people for such a callous reason that I don't think you could ever redeem yourself from that. Like, genuinely. I don't believe in the death penalty, personally. And so, like, I don't think we should just kill her. Because someone has to push that button. And I've waffled on that a lot in my life. And I think I've come around to not believing in the death penalty, ultimately. Unless I'm the one pressing the button. Which is insane.
So it's very Ned Stark of you.
It's because I couldn't ask someone else to do that.
Yeah, sure.
I could do it. I could push the button. But I couldn't ask someone else to. And so because of that, and because I will never be the person in that job, I can't believe in the death penalty because I can't ask someone else to kill someone.
See, that's so interesting because I feel like I could never push that button because I don't believe that I am worthy to pass judgment on someone else that constitutes their life.
100%, yeah. I agree with that. But I think we agree.
No, well, I'm just saying you think that you could be judge, jury, executioner. Like, you could be the one to decide whether or not
No, I actually don't think I could.
Oh, you're saying you could press the button.
No, I'm saying that the only world in which I think I could say the death penalty should exist is the one where I am the one pressing the button. Because I could never ask someone else to do it. But I also don't know that I could I'm not saying that I could push the button. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that I don't think the death penalty can exist because I couldn't ask someone else to push the button. Mm-hmm. And that is where I'm saying that it can't exist because of that conundrum. Mm-hmm. I could never ask someone else to do it, and I don't know that the other side of that is I don't know that I would ever trust the evidence enough to do it myself. And so in that, like, I just don't know that it can exist. I can't find a way for it to exist within my own view of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in asking someone to be a murderer. And I don't believe in the justice system enough to think that anyone is definitely guilty of something.
Well, that is a whole other thing, right? Is how can you know for sure? Obviously, in this instance, like, we know Clarissa is guilty. Like, not only are we in her POV, but she says it, everyone else says it. Like, there's not, there is no question in that regard. But for so many people, that it is in question. I also think that, like, Embry brings up a good point that I don't know if redemption... I don't know if anyone can be redeemed, but I do think people can work towards redemption, and that is a path with no ending to it.
I don't know that, I agree with that, right? I think that, and it's my problem with the Star Wars model, is that I don't think redemption is an action. I think redemption is a lifestyle. I think redemption is how you live after a moment. And I do think that, like, Emma brings up murdering someone, you can't undo murder, obviously. Yeah. But I don't think that murder should be a lifetime sentence in every case, right? I think there's plenty of murder that is totally fine and you shouldn't go to prison for. I think that, like, obviously I believe in self-defense. I think that, like, that girl who killed the guy who had kidnapped and was sex trafficking her, I think that girl should live scot-free. I think the government should give her money to go be comfortable. She's been through hell already. Yeah. And I think that her killing that guy, I bring this up all the time because just because it made me so mad that she was going to suffer consequences for killing the man that was going to sex traffic her. Yeah. I think that is crazy. Yeah. I think she should have been allowed to do whatever she wanted to that man. I don't think all killing of people is punishable or needs redemption. Sometimes people gotta die. But I do think that if you are going to get a 10-year sentence and you are going to get out of prison, your entire life after that point is redemption. It isn't a moment. It is everything you do. It is the decisions that you make forever. Mm-hmm. If I do wrong by you in a small way, I can't make it up to you by one thing. It's by extensive things. Yeah. Right? And that's just why Clarissa can never be redeemed. She could live her life in a better way. She could be a better person. Because she was so crazy in her actions, we can't trust that she's going to be rational. So we can't let her be free to go live a better life. Yeah. Just because it was so beyond the pale, right? She killed hundreds of people to tangentially harm a different person. That's crazy. Yeah. She blew up a ship. Yeah. You cannot trust that person to be free ever again. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, no matter how many therapists say that she's back on the rails, you can't ever trust that person to be free again. Mm-hmm. She killed hundreds of people, innocent people. Mm-hmm. She gets free because of a crazy situation, but there's simply no reason why she should ever be free again. Mm-hmm. What she did is nuts. Yeah. And no one forced her. She did everything completely of her own free will. Yeah. All of her decisions she made in a vacuum by herself. No, it's not like her dad even influenced her to do it. She hasn't spoken to her dad. She does it in the hopes that he hears about it. Yep. Lunacy. Yeah. Never free again.
She is unwell.
Yeah. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Jail forever. Sorry. If you kill hundreds of people, I just don't have a lot of room in my heart for, like, well, shouldn't we, like, give her a second chance? No, she killed hundreds of people. If it's one person, it is different to me. I think if you kill one person, there's plenty of reasons to kill somebody. But at the point where you're killing hundreds of... Like, if someone were to, like, go blow up a boat for no reason, except to maybe, like, mm-hmm. Jail forever. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. She just kills too many people. Sure. And, like, the Peaches thing is cute, but, like, Amos isn't exactly an arbiter
Hinged? Yeah.
moral judgment.
Yeah, Amos has got his own shit going on, for sure. They make a good team for that.
Yeah. Wasn't the case dropped? Was she convicted? I need to find out more. I talk about it too much to not have all the details. Y'all, I think we're going to get out of here. We're going to be live tonight. Right? Do you want to do that?
Sure.
You on board? Yeah, we're going to go live maybe around, like, 7:30. We'll go live 7:30 Eastern look, the world's been dark and a lot of bad shit has been happening. I would really love to just hang out. We'll live on the Nerdy Nightly, and we will watch the Splashdown. And we're just going to celebrate an incredible thing humans did. Because what a day. You know what I mean? What a really, really cool fucking day for humans to have flown around the moon and come home. I'm so excited. This whole Artemis 2 thing has been such a special thing. So join us for that. Also, shout out again to McGuinea Pig. congratulations, Professor, on the 3rd book in your series. This is so cool. Make sure you check out the Black Box and the 2 sequels. Other than that, what else is going on?
I don't know.
Gen V season 2 episode 8. We didn't react to the whole season, but we did react to the finale. That will probably go up later today. So before we start Boys season 5, we did watch all of Gen V season 2, and we have a little review. Not the most positive, but not like it was good. Season 2 was good.
Discussion topic for the Discord. If you're in the Discord, 2 movies came out: Mario movie and Project Hail Mary. Are those movies we should be going and seeing in theaters and talking about on the channel, or are those reaction-worthy movies? Let us know in the Discord, because it's hard for us to judge because we haven't seen the fucking movies. You know
are there ones you want us to react to?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. We'll also have the April Patreon poll going soon, so if you have suggestions for April,
drop those in the Patreon channel.
Drop that in the Discord as well. And that's kind of, and we're gonna be at DokumiCon, so come say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
lots of stuff coming. My birthday's at the end of the month. We're almost at, how close to 100K are we?
Oh, yeah, that's right. When we get really close to 100K on Nerdy Nightly, we're probably just going to hit go live and stream until we hit 100K. So
we are less than 250 subscribers from 100,000.
Yeah, we might start streaming at
If you were less than 250 subscribers from 100,000.
I know. We might do when it's 50 subs or less, we might do a stream-a-thon
until we hit it
thing. Yeah.
And then people start unsubscribing to fuck with us.
I know. Any theme? Nope. I don't know. Just go for it. Just throw shit out there.
It's my birthday, so movies Nerdy would like.
Great. Movies Nerdy would like.
Yeah. Do that.
Yeah. Even if I've seen them at that point, it's your birthday.
Yeah. But no, April's gonna be a big month, y'all. I think we're gonna hit 100,000 subscribers on the Nerdy Nightly, which is been a goal for a long time. So thank you everyone for being part of this journey.
Yeah.
And we will be back next week with chapters 1 through 19 of
DCC.
Matt Infante says Project Hail Mary, if you could wait, would make a good reaction.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we'll react to that one. Clarice, what's your high and your low? Let's do high-low. What's your high for this book? Clara says her high, I do my low. She does her low, I do my high, because we compliment sandwich this beach.
My high is having a religious perspective in a book that I enjoyed thoroughly and felt any kind of connection to.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was so well written. I loved Anna. I loved her perspective and her care for humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
And that is my high for this book.
Hell yeah.
What's your low?
I still don't love Clarissa.
Sure, yeah. I don't think she's a likable character.
Yeah. Her plan is just really dumb.
Again, she's not super smart either.
Yeah. And she's just not my favorite part of it. Having more of her POV didn't make me like her more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it did for me, but my low is just that the first 10 to 15 chapters, I don't know, it wasn't hitting for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we got there because I really enjoyed this book, but I did feel a bit of a slower start for this one than the other two.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think book 2 is still my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your high?
Holden experiencing the protomolecule moment. I just think it was so beautifully written, beautifully described, and it was a moment that I liked on the show, but that I thought was really improved in this version.
Yeah.
It felt huge, but also so intimate at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just very, very impressive.
Yeah.
If you want to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is...
Anna.
Anna! That's right. I wonder if she's in future books. Huh.
I don't know.
If you want to follow us on the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Clara's Polaris.
Do something Nerdy Night.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Smut Club.
Oh wow, you stopped recording just for Smut Club.
Yeah. Where would you have sex? YouTube only. What do you think that... Okay, so if she were to put... Clarissa were to, glandular up, right? Do you think that she would have, crazy orgasms if you were to jack off? Or would her fingers be too strong and she would just bruise the shit out of her clit?
I don't... Yeah, I don't think that would affect your orgasms, but I don't actually know how the drugs work, so maybe?
She's so high.
I definitely don't think you can take that drug and then have sex, because then you'd end up throwing up all over the person unless it's less than 60 seconds, and that would be rough.
60 seconds or less.
The Clarissa Mao story. All right, bye guys.
She starts at OnlyFans and all of her videos are less than... People are like, can you make longer videos I can jerk off to? She's like, no.
60 seconds or
less. No,
less.
because after 60 seconds I throw up.
Oh my God.
And that is a Nerdy Wordy Book Club special right there. Bye, everyone.